Hi, we're Chris and Wendy from Meeple Overboard.
Today we're doing a full playthrough of this very large game right here, City of the Big Shoulders, published by Parallel Games, designed by Raymond Chandler III, artwork by Emily R. Deering. And the name, City of the Big Shoulders, comes from a poem. A poem by whom, you may ask? Well, how about a poem by Carl Sandburg from 1914? The text of the poem is on the inside of the box. Cool touch. So, this is the City of the Big Shoulders.
It looks just like Chicago. No, we do want to give a thanks.
It looks just like shoulders.
We do want to give a thanks to Parallel Games for sending us this review copy.
So one of the things that you'll see is we have this game pretty much all set up already. How it's going to work is this is a mix between a worker placement game with the worker placement spots over here and an 18XX style economics game where the economics and the companies are handled down here.
So Chris and I both chose our starting companies. I've got Brunswick Balk Collender Co.
Yep, the BBC for short. You'll see that these markers right here correlate to Wendy's company, BBC, Brunswick Balk and Collender. Brunswick, I assume, is the bowling ball manufacturer. Over here, Swift and Company is mine. You'll see that our player boards are slightly different. We have prices for goods that we will be selling. We have factories that we can fire off as long as we have sufficient workers and enough resources. And then we will be turning them into goods that we will sell to this market over here.
Oh, goody.
Oh, good. Now, one of the important concepts is that this right here on our little colored player aids, this is our personal bank. This is our money as individuals, as owners of companies, because we might own more than one company.
So we went ahead and invested in our first companies. We started them out. We started the game with $175, and I invested. You have to purchase 3 shares, so we get a 30% investment into our company. I started with each share costing $50. Chris started at $40, which is why we have different amounts on our beginning player area.
Yeah, in our personal account. And these are the accounts of the actual companies themselves. And so one of the important concepts in these style of economic games is to never confuse your personal budget, your personal treasury, with a company's economy or company's treasury. So we're going to keep that straight by putting our money here on these player aids and the companies over here. We might own more companies, and so you have to keep each company treasury separate, and you can't commingle funds, basically.
We also want to point out that we're using our own poker chips for this. These did not come with the game. It came with paper money as well as card money.
The card money comes in the expansion, and the other thing that comes in the expansion are more companies. We're not going to play with those. We're going to do a basic example. And these are wooden tokens that come from the expansion as well. In the original, they were cardboard punch-outs. These are just a little bit easier to handle, so we're using them for the video's sake. So yes, the rulebook actually encourages and says, try using your own poker chips instead of paper money. And you don't have to tell me twice. So basic overview of what is kind of going on here. As we said, we're companies. We're going to be running them and trying to produce goods and sell them to this market for these sales prices.
If you look in the upper right-hand corner, these are the type of goods that we're producing, and therefore these are the markets that they will sell to.
You'll notice that Wendy and I do not have shoes or dry food goods yet. We might invest into those companies as the round kind of moves on. We'll see. This is the round marker here. There will be a total of 5 rounds of the game. This is the phase marker, meaning that there are 5 phases to the game, and we'll kind of go ahead and explain very briefly what will happen in each of those.
So during the first phase, we can purchase or invest more into our current companies or into other companies. Then we have these nifty little things here. These are basically new worker placement spaces that we get to choose. And whatever the price is will go to our personal pot as players choose to go there.
So if you're familiar with games like Lords of Waterdeep or something, we're each going to pick new buildings to add each round. And so that'll be nice. The next phase is the actual worker placement phase. This is the little turn order here, so I'll be going first. And then Wendy, when it comes to worker placement, and we're just going to go ahead and put our guys out to hire more workers to run our factories or to increase the prestige of our companies so that our companies go in different order, or hire people to work in them, or to go to these different buildings, or just to go ahead and try and get some money. Now, an important thing is that in the worker placement phase, these are the directors of our companies. This is no longer Chris and Wendy performing. This is a representative of the Swift company taking an action. So if I go here and I have to pay $60, the company will have to pay the $60, not Chris nor Wendy. So this phase on is pretty much all the companies are taking their turns.
All right, and then this phase over here is after you're basically running your company for the 10-year period. You'll come over here and you'll purchase goods or cubes that are required, basically raw materials that are required. You will run your factory, you'll produce your goods, and you will sell them over here. And then you'll make the choice of whether or not to pay a dividend. And pretty much, if you can afford it, pay a dividend.
Yep, if you can, pay it out. So at this point, if a company pays a dividend, let's say that I just in this convenient example, I pay a $20 dividend out to myself because I own stock in the Swift company. Then the money goes from the company treasury to Chris's treasury. And so that's kind of how the money will go back and forth. And then the last phase of each round is cleanup, where we just take care of some of the stuff out here, pull back workers, and so on and so forth.
Reset the markets. Yep. Reset
the markets. So it's a 5-phase structure. It's not too complex, but there's a lot of depth to the game, and there's a lot of rewardingness to it. Last thing I think worth pointing out is that these are 5 endgame scoring conditions. Whoever has the most 10% shares of companies, for example, will get $200. Whoever has the most of these capital asset improvements gets $200. Most marketers, most money, and most 20% shares will get $200 each, and it's straight up money that you own at the end of the game, which will determine the winner.
Which is pretty nifty, if I have to say so myself.
Yep. So no victory points here, just cold hard cash.
That's right. All right, so Chris has the Super Train of Power, which means that he gets to choose to invest in any future properties if he so desires.
And just for reference, if you're trying to kind of get an idea of the game from this video, because I'm going first, Wendy picked this company first to start, and then I chose a company to start. That is a specific one time at the beginning of the game rule only, and now the game proper begins, and so I have money that I could choose to invest into my company, or I could maybe choose to invest into Wendy's Brunswick company. Mm-hmm. Maybe I want to try and take some of the dividends from her, so her company, as it succeeds, will have to pay me. That might be kind of nice, so we shall see.
Sure.
So what I'm going to go ahead and do on my first stock action of the game is I'll probably actually just pay another $40 and invest back into my own company again. So here is 50. Can I make change here, please?
Mm-hmm.
So we're using the standard poker chip denominations in case you're curious. So the white or gray is the ones, reds are 10, and blues are reds are 5s. Blues are 10s, greens are 25, blacks are 100. That's the common that you'll see here. So I want to spend $40 per share so that I can get another share of the Swift company. The reason I might do that is I want more dividends to be paid out to me, and therefore I want more money. Therefore I need to own more of it. The other benefit from this is I now have more money sitting here in my company, which I will then be able to spend during the worker placement and the company operating phase.
Mm-hmm.
So that was me. And now it goes over to Wendy, who can take an action or pass.
And I will pass.
Because she just doesn't have enough money to invest in either of the companies. So now that Wendy passes, it comes back to me. If I had enough money, I could choose to take an action again. And then it goes back over to Wendy, so that if she wanted to, she could continue taking actions. You can pass, and it only progresses to the next phase once both players have passed concurrently. So I'll pass because we're both broke.
And now we're out of money, so we will move on to the creating buildings phases, or worker placement spots.
So these here are the buildings that I can choose to add. Wendy's looking at hers as well. And I'm going to go ahead and... this is a good question. I might do this. I'm going to add this one here. And on top of this, we also have to discard one of these. So I think that I'm going to discard probably this one. Those symbols might not make a lot of sense right now, but you'll kind of get used to them. The one that we don't discard or put out, we'll hold onto for next round, and next round we'll start getting level 2 building tiles dealt out to us. If we get to round 4, we start getting level 3 buildings and so on and so forth. So now that we've done this, we're going to reveal the buildings that we chose.
All right.
Sorry to cover up Wendy's. All right. So this symbol in the bottom right corner indicates the number of workers we're going to add here to the market, i.e. 2.
All right, now we're in the worker placement phase, and Chris gets to go first.
That's right, because this turn order here. So don't mind this train indicator anymore. This is only for the stock round of the game. Also, actually, now that this comes up, this is supposed to pass to the left of the last person who took a stock action.
So I get it next.
You get it next. So I took the stock action. Wendy didn't. She passed. So it's going to go right there to her. And so she'll be first player at this point of the game. But this turn order is determined separately by this little thing right here.
Okay, so what are you going to go ahead and do for your first action?
So there's a lot of different things that I can go do. I can go hire workers over here. I can grab first player over here. I can get managers to make my companies more efficient. I can get marketers to sell my goods for more money. I can pay out dividends, or I can just go ahead and grab money for my company, or I can take the actions of the new buildings over here. But the one that I'm going to do, the one that I'm most interested in, is right here. This is capital long-term investments. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to this action space, which says, if you notice in the top left icon, my company has to pay the bank. If I went over to, say, this action space, my company has to pay the owner, the person, the human, right? So, for example, whoever one of us takes Wendy's building action is going to pay to Wendy. Mine is to the bank, because neither her nor I own this action space. So I got to spend money to get one of these capital assets, which is going to be like a long-term recurring benefit thing to me. So this right here says that I can get pink cubes. I want that because my building over here, unsurprisingly, is going to require pink cubes. So I'm going to have to pay $50 to the bank for that. This will go over to my capital asset area. And the other thing that happens is whatever is shown in the bottom right icon of that space, I get that immediate benefit. So let me pay $50 to the bank. So 25, 2 10s, and a 5. Thank you, Ms. Banker. Most beautiful banker that I've ever seen. Ha ha ha. So I get to automate. That's what this little gear symbol means. I get to automate a worker. I have this human worker over here who is almost, able to operate this factory, but there needs to be 2 workers or a mix of machines and or workers. So if I automate a worker, I can replace one of the workers I already have with this automation token. It slides up and my worker slides over to the side. And so now I have both of these spaces covered. This factory requires 3, Wendy's requires 1 and 3, mine requires 2 and 3, right? So you can see the number of workers that I need to have, workers and or machines total. Now I have, I've made this company more efficient. Hooray! And that's the benefit of automation. These slide down. Is there anything I failed to explain there? Or
did you want to get your pink cubes?
I will do that. Yep, I'm going to fill this in first. Hey, look, refrigeration, more pink cubes. Okay, so I took the one-time bonus. Now, what this says here, I can pay $10. I don't know if that's visible. I can pay $10 to activate this either now or during the company action phase. I will. I'm going to spend $10 to grab those 2 pink cubes, and I'm going to grab them from Haymarket Square. This is kind of the dump where the extra cubes are going to end up going. So I'm going to grab them now while they're still available.
It's a real place in real life, but it's not a real dump in real life.
It's not a dump, yeah. Sorry to any Chicagoans if we... Haymaker Square.
All right, we ready?
All right, so I did my first action.
Okay,
right?
So my action, I'm going to actually come here to increase my prestige. If you look, my company needs to pay the owner of that space, that is Chris.
Yahoo!
So I'll pay Chris's personal fund $30.
All right.
You can move up my, prestige. My prestige moves up 2 spaces,
Whoop.
which means I
Whoop.
am the top piece. and I get to gain a worker. It comes from the supply, correct?
Correct. Yep. So over here
right.
on the side off screen, we have the supply of more
My
workers.
factory only requires one worker to run, so it is now ready and able to produce beautiful, delicious manufactured goods.
Healthy and nutritious manufactured goods. Yes, indeed. Cool. I like that. I got paid money, which means it'll be easier for me to invest in the future. Okay, so that was Wendy's action. Now it comes back to me, and we're just going to lay down the workers for the sake of the camera.
Sure.
To be able to pick that up. I think that what I want to do, my company has $100 left, and I have to be able to balance this $100 of taking actions, but also getting cubes. Now, I only need to be able to purchase one blue cube, but now that Wendy's BBC company has moved on top of my company in prestige, what that means is that Wendy's company, when it comes to the company phase, will operate first and then mine. So you operate in order of this track, and whoever moves on top gets to go first. my game group says, "Oh, you got felded. You got Stefan felded, Chris." So I might want to actually get out of that. So, this is tough. But I think the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to this worker placement spot here. So it cost me $20. Here's 100. If I can get 80 and change, please. Two things happen right here. One is that I get to move my company on this track, and then I also get to take I get to take first in worker placement.
Which you already were.
Which I already were.
You were again.
Yep. Now, there is a little bit of foolishness in that these green spaces can hold multiple workers of multiple players. So Wendy, if she really wanted to, could go here, basically undo everything I did by advancing her company and taking first place.
I'm going to go ahead and go here, and I will also I need lots of brown, so I'm going to purchase this one for $40. So let's go ahead and give myself 60 back. Then I will pay 10 to flip it over and use it for this round, which will give me 2 browns. And then also I do as well, it has the one-time bonus of an automation. And because I currently have an employee, I can automate. You cannot automate if you do not have any employees. Factories can't run themselves, I guess. Well, this one can. But
this one can. So
can now.
The game says you have to have a worker to put out of a job. You can't just have the machinery. Andrew Yang would be so disappointed. We're just automating everything.
Right. All right. So that's at the end of the action phase.
I'll just go ahead and fill this
down.
in.
So we're going to go to actually working our companies. Chris is in the lead over there, so he will begin first.
Woo, go Swift. Swift is swift and quick. Get it? Ha 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 ha. Okay, so I've got these pink cubes. I don't have enough people to operate this whole second factory, so the only thing that I lack is one blue cube. So I'm going to put that there to show that I need this pink cube to run it. I have this other pink cube that I'll just hold on to for the future. Now is the point where my company is going to go ahead and purchase a cube that I will need. And so the only one cube that I really need right now is $10. This blue cube I'm going to purchase right from the $10 space of the market, 10, 20, 30. These ones aren't available. This is just a forecast of what cubes will be available in the future. So my one blue cube is going to come here. Hurrah. And I'm going to pay $10 to the bank. And, okay, so I've done the purchasing that I want to. So that's done. This market's not going to move for Wendy. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and run this factory. So I have enough workers to operate the factory. The blue and the pink cube are going to go right back here into Haymarket Square. Think of this essentially as the discard pile that you can grab from almost, right? So I go ahead, I do that. My factory produces 2 goods. So I'm going to grab 2 goods here from off screen. Yahoo! They come on in. And now the last part of what I can do is I can sell these goods. I've got 2 goods. I have livestock stuff. So I'm going to go here to the livestock area. And now I'm going to fill in these demand tiles. I'm going to go ahead and sell one of them for $50. That's what it's worth. Right into this spot. And I'm going to sell the other one for $50 right to this spot. And now, if you completely fill in a demand tile, you not only get the price of the goods that you're selling, but you also get the amount that you have up here if you fill it in. Because I filled in this tile, I get an extra $50, i.e. 50 for this good, 50 for this good, and 50 for that bonus, $150, and that's now how much income I will get. This is the part in the game where we're going to explain how the dividend process works.
All right, I'm going to give you a nice visual here of what is going on. So Chris sold $150 worth of goods, correct? Now, his company is going to give a dividend because he doesn't want to decrease his stock value. In fact, he wants to increase it. So what we need to do is we need to basically get 10% per share. That marker will work better. Thank you.
Yeah, this will look good on the camera.
So $150, right? So 10% of that for each share would be a $15 dividend, correct? Now, only 40% of the shares are actually owned by people. Chris happens to own all 40. So if we take 15 and we multiply it by 4, we're going to go ahead and get 60. So his personal fund will get 60, and then
the 90 remainder.
Yeah, the 90 remainder will go to his company. So company versus personal. So I will go ahead and pull that from the bank right now.
Yes, Wendy is the wonderful banker.
So $60 for personal.
Woot woot.
And 90 for your company.
Alrighty. That's pretty groovy if you ask me.
We like math. Thank goodness for paper and pen, right?
I mean, I'm using my old calculator from Finance 301 in college. The calculations will get worse.
All right. Now, with the stocks over here, Chris's company, when you're within this orange little region here, your company can move up to 2 spaces, depending on whether or not it doubled or tripled its current price.
If you are below this particular line right here, then you can at most move up 2 spaces. You move up 1 space if you pay out, or if your revenue earned in total is at least the amount of your share price.
So he did pay 40.
Now, if it's double, and I did get 150, right? So this is a caution with the rule book. The rule book says paid. Technically, the dividends paid were 60, but my net income for the round was 150, which that is what you're going to calculate. So 150 is at least double of 40.
Mm-hmm. So now his stock price is worth $60 per share.
That's great, but
nice increase.
Because I started below this line, it cannot move up 3 spaces. And if anyone is curious, this orange box is how much you have to start your company at per share, so that you can't just start a company at $10 a share. Your company can fall if you're not paying out dividends. Whew, do we get all that done?
I think we got it done.
Okay,
I
cool.
think that's good. So it's my turn to go ahead and run my company?
Yeah, Brunswick, go for it.
All right, I have 2 brown cubes. I need a blue cube, but look, there are no blue cubes available. This is actually not a market space that's available. This is just showing us what will come out next.
Ha ha ha, so Wendy can't do anything, right?
Right? No. So you can trade 2 similar cubes for one of your choice from Haymarket Square. Luckily, there are plenty blue cubes in there, so I can go ahead and run over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pay $20.30 for 2 cubes, and I'm going to trade them in for 1 blue. So I'm going to pay $30 to the bank for this nice blue cube. Now, this one also happens to be really nice and cheap right now, so I'm going to go ahead and pay an extra $10 just for this brown one because I'm going to need it in the future.
That's fair.
It's just conveniently nice to get that out of the way. So because I automated, I produced 2 goods.
Okay, yeah.
And they will both go right here, complete this.
That is one of the things. You'll notice that Wendy's factory normally only produces 1. My factory normally produces 2. But if you clear off all of the automation tokens, then your factory will produce an extra good. Efficiencies!
Exactly. All right, so we're going to do one more pen and paper just to show you, and then we're going to go ahead and not do that for the rest of the game. So each one of my goods is worth $80. So
because bowling balls be expensive.
So I had $1,600, or not $1,600, sorry, under 60 is what I earned for my 2 goods. And then I get, because I filled this all the way up, I get the $50 bonus, which equals $210. So that's my total, the total dividends that will be given out. But I only get 10% of that, which is, the 30% of it, 30%, sorry.
Yeah.
So 21 times 3, which would be $63. Then we go ahead and what is 210 minus 63?
I'm going to do that on my fancy-dancy calculator because I don't want to get it wrong. At $147.
$147 goes to the company, and then 63 goes to the player.
So now that an entire company has finished, if there are, at this point, empty spaces in the market, everything will slide down. So remember how we said that this is kind of a forecast of what goods will be available? Surprise, now they're going to be available. And you get to pull from this drawstring bag, which, oh my goodness, this is a very nice full-size bag that you can stick your hand into. So that's cool. So we're going to replace it with 3 cubes now into the forecasting spot. You might be asking why 3 cubes? Because if you look over here at the round marker, you'll see that this first round, we use 3 cubes each. The next 2 rounds, it'll be 4 cubes when you have to replace it, then 5, then 6. All right, so that now is the end of the world as we know it. No, did I just say that wrong? That's the end of the, what is this called? The company operations phase of the game. Companies are rich, humans are rich, and we're pretty happy.
All right, then we go to the cleanup phase. What sadly happens is that these, my nice brown cubes, get removed, and things move down again.
Okay, so let's go ahead and replace again with 3 more cubes because we're still in the first round.
Aha, more brown and blue.
Yeah, look at that.
We all want.
That's not a bad forecast for you because you need lots of brown and blue. Oh, did you pay?
Oh, yep, these got paid.
There you go.
So you can see Haymarket Square will just get huge.
It's gonna explode with cubes, just like in real life.
Hey, these also were flipped back over.
You're gonna refresh.
These
that's right.
Go down. And a new one flips over.
Now we're gonna go ahead and pull back our workers. I am red.
I am blue.
Hooray! And in case anyone was wondering, these are extra workers that we can get. So once the 3rd round hits, we automatically would get workers. If you ever can bring a company's prestige all the way down here, you'll get another worker. And if you ever are able to operate all of the factories in your starting company, you will get an extra worker. So you can have up to 5 workers as you play your cards right.
Full automation, baby.
All right, and now the other thing that'll happen is we're going to deal out new building tiles, 2 to each of us, so that we always are going to have 3 buildings to pick from when we get to this building phase. And now these are phase 2 buildings, 2 dots, phase 2. Let's go ahead and move the round marker all the way back to the starting stock. Would you move the year marker?
I forgot to move this up. Sorry, I did 210, which means I can move twice, which puts me at $80 a share.
Yep. You would have been able to do 3. Now we can do 3 since we're above that line, that little snaky looking line there.
But it's hard to do. Oh, we forgot to clean up that as well during cleanup phase.
Ah, good point. Okay, I'm just going to move this back for the sake of it. We haven't messed anything up. Now, anything that's full over here in the demand area is going to get removed from the game. And so these ones go away. This tile here, you'll notice, is a first round only little X'd out tile. This is going to start up here. This will get removed now. Now that it's removed, everything was going to slide to the right. One spot this time. One spot this time. And now these remaining tiles are going to fill in, and starting from the top down. So yoink, yoink, and a yoink. You might have noticed that there's actually some stuff printed under here. Once these demand tiles run out, this rightmost spot is no longer available. This central spot requires 6 goods to get a $20 bonus. And this last spot can take infinite number of goods sold, but at only half the price. So,
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, this cleans up now the demand tile area. Ooh, did we get that right?
All right, looks good.
Okie dokie. So now we can officially move everything on up.
All right, so let's go ahead and start at the beginning of the round again. We move to the second round.
All right, we are now in the year 1885. This is really old when you think about it. Wow. Okay. So anyway, we're at 1885 now in the investment phase. I think what I want to do is I'm going to start a second company. There's a huge stack of companies that are actually off screen right now. And what I'm going to do is pay out of my personal funds here, if I want to start a company at the cheapest amount possible, $35 a share, I need to pay $105. 35 times 3, right? Because you need to own a president share in the company, which is 3 times whatever the stock price is.
You have exactly 105.
I have exactly 105.
I paid for Chris's new company. I would just like to point that out.
Oh, yes, you did, because you paid me for that action. So that's the dynamic of owning buildings. So here you go to the banker, $105.
All right.
And I'm starting the Cracker Jack company.
It actually goes to the Cracker Jack company.
Oh, yeah, duh. Yeah, because I'm investing in the company. So check out Cracker Jacks. This is literally the Cracker Jack company that you're thinking of, right? The not really that great snack food. So, anyway.
Every year, my mom would give us Cracker Jacks in our stocking. And it finally got to the point where I was like, please, don't give me Cracker Jacks anymore. I don't like them.
What are you, not American?
You know what? It's funny because I love caramel popcorn. But
yeah, there's something about Cracker Jacks that's not as good as, like... You know what I strangely love? As we pull out the company stocks and charters and all that stuff. You know what I strangely love is... Oh, look at that sweet, sweet picture of a... baseball player who's not Babe Ruth, but that's the only name I can possibly think of right now. But yeah, like even just like the random giant tin cans of like 1/3 regular, 1/3 cheese, 1/3 caramel pop. That stuff's so good.
Sure.
You didn't come here to listen to me talk about caramel popcorn. You came here to see me invest in the Cracker Jack company. So this is my president share. You can see these 3 little dots shows up 30%, whereas the 1 little dot is for 10%. So I've invested. You know what? I did that wrong. I was so excited to do that I forgot.
Oh,
Wendy,
I was supposed to invest first.
You're supposed to invest first.
Oh, you're right.
So we're just going to hold this here on the side, knowing that's what I'm going to do.
Pretend that didn't happen officially yet.
You have information on me. You shouldn't.
I'm actually going to go ahead and invest in my company again. So 75.80. I'm going to make change for that. Just throwing money at my company. We're going to spend it. We're going to use it, and we're going to become the best.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of money that your company has. You have 100, 200 some odd dollars over there, huh?
Yep.
My company only has like 150, so interesting. Very good. So that was Wendy's first action. Now it comes to me, and I'm going to invest in Cracker Jack. What do you think? So I've done this now, paid the money over here. I'm going to put the automation tokens on here as well. And in case anyone was wondering, if you run all of the factories of a second company, you don't get more workers. That's only for whatever company is your first one. Therefore, that's why I put this director right here. So now I was going to go back to Wendy. Hey, do you want to invest any money with that
with my $8? No, I think I'm good.
Okay, so you pass. I, as well, am broke and have to pass. So this train, the first player of the investment phase, goes to the left of the player who last took a investment action, ergo me. And so Wendy will retain this. And she'll get to invest first next round.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our buildings. I'm going to go ahead and do this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ditch this one.
Yeah, these, I don't know how I feel about these. I'm just going to go ahead and invest, or I'm going to set this one out, and I'm going to ditch... I don't know. Probably this one. This one is inconsequential to me. They don't seem to be too different. So now we reveal.
1, 2, 3, flip. Weird. I did another automation one. For better or for worse.
I think I might know what you want to do. This one here says you get to take this same action, buy one of these capital assets, at a $10 discount. And looking at it, I probably don't want to do that because
also,
I can't have a capital asset.
You may wonder, why would I pay $20 to get a $10 discount? Well, it's actually the bank that pays the player $20.
That is
true. For you to get the $10 discount. So
you do have to be aware of all these little things right here. Well, that was kind of a boneheaded decision, but at least it doesn't benefit Wendy because she doesn't have another company that can get one of these. Maybe I'll start another one. We shall see. We shall see. So anyway, 2, 3 workers will get added to the marketplace. So
workers be cheap.
Yeah, there's a lot of demand.
Lots of unemployment.
All right, this one's wobbly, so I'm just going to swap them out because no need to make myself look embarrassed on camera.
Don't fall down. All right, what you going to do?
What am I going to do with all that junk?
Yeah.
All that junk up in my worker placement phase? That's a good question. I've still got 2 workers. I know for sure Cracker Jack over here doesn't have any employees. So Crackerjack might want to invest in an employee for sure. Swift Company over here maybe is going to want to automate or something like that. So yeah, we shall see. Wendy has all these great automation spaces, but it's going to require me paying her a ton of money. So, maybe I should grab one of these things that gives me an automatic, that thing, but I don't want to have to replace this. I can choose if I wanted to go here to get this one-time effect and then just discard this capital asset and keep the one here that I kind of like better. So, yeah, so I've got choices. I think the first thing that I want to do, however, is probably go to this spot, because this is going to pay myself, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pay my own person $30 to use that prestige space. So on behalf of Swift, which is going to move up 2 spaces. Now, as I pass this icon here, this is going to give me a marketer. It is a little bit hard to tell the difference between light and dark brown. This is a marketer, which matches... oh geez, now I'm confused. Yeah, sorry. This
dark
one,
brown. Yep.
That is dark brown. So a marketer gets to increase the value of how much my goods cost when I sell them, whereas this is a manager, and the manager is going to give you extra benefits when you go ahead and do this management stuff. So I think that's what I want to do for my first action.
All right. You need to go ahead and add your second company up there. Crackerjack does not have stock markers and such.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You started at $35?
$35, that's correct.
All right.
And this shows that I started only at 1 prestige, so I'm kind of back here, crummily. But that's fine.
Okay, well, I obviously added more automation because we at BBC believe in automation.
All right, very nice.
So
go
there's
ahead
that. So I'm going to go ahead and pay myself $40.
It sounds funny, but yes, your company pays your person $40.
I'm also going to go ahead and just get these brown cubes now while I'm taking a turn. So I pay $10 to the bank to get 2 brown cubes.
Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, so now I'm on my last worker. So here's the thing, is Crackerjack doesn't have a worker over here, right? Whereas the Swift company is going to be set. I want to try and increase Swift's reputation like one more step, if I could, to automate this so that I can produce more things. But I think that the worst thing that would happen is if I don't get Crackerjack operational right now, if I don't earn any income by producing things, then I have to lose stock value, which would be very bad. So what I'm going to go ahead and do instead is I'm going to get Crackerjack an employee. So I'll probably just have to go to this space right here and pay $20, which is not a bad deal at all. So this is going to get paid to the bank $20, so that I can get a worker and put them right there. Go to work in the factory. That's what everybody wants to do. All the cool kids are doing it.
All the cool kids. All right, I'm going to come here and I'm going to go ahead and pay myself another $40 to go ahead and automate again.
Wow.
So now both factories are going to fire off. I'm going to make a total of 3 goods right now for this round.
Where's your extra worker? You're supposed to have your extra worker over here.
I just used it.
Oh.
It was in front of me.
Yes, yeah. So Wendy's going to be able to get her 3rd worker this round. Holy mackerel. And at the start of the 3rd round, she'll have once again another extra worker. So well played. So now we have reached the end of the worker placement phase. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's advance down to the company operation phase.
All right. So Swift is the first company. It is in the lead for prestige. So it gets first pickings.
We're going to get Swifty up in here. I've never watched Rick and Morty in my life. I don't know why I said that, but I mean, why not? It's a good round. Get Swifty. Na. Getting swifty with it. Let's see. So what I want to do, I need a blue cube to operate Swift. I don't have workers or anything over in this area, ergo I'm not going to bother. getting the extra resource. Well, I could get the extra resources the cheap, actually.
You could.
Yeah. Let's see, because I have to just estimate by the forecast here. I think that's what it's going to be worth it for me to do is probably pay to get that thing right there. Yeah, so I'm going to pay $20 twice. That's $40, and I'm going to pay for a pink cube up here. So that's going to be a total of $50 that my company Swift has to pay to the bank to grab these cubes. Now, particularly, I kind of purchased it that way so that these are not empty. Therefore, I'm not moving stuff down, and therefore I'm making it harder for Wendy.
So much more expensive.
On her turn, yeah.
Goodness
so
gracious.
There's a little bit of that, but Wendy is going to be able to still either buy straight up a blue one or these two. And so anyway, so I did that. So I purchased stuff for Swifty. I could choose at this point of the operation phase, if I wanted to go ahead and use this factory here to pay $10, or to this capital asset. I could pay $10 to get 2 pink cubes out of the Haymarket Square, but there's only one in there. I don't think this is worth it yet. I might skip it this round and wait for next round. So I think that's fine. So I've got my stuff here. I'm only producing 2 goods, so I'm going to take these items and move it right here into the Haymarket Square. And that's going to produce me a couple 2 goods, which is pretty good. I'm getting swifty with it. And now I'm going to sell them to the market. But you'll notice I'm not selling at $50. I'm selling at $60 now because I've got this marketer right here. I really wish I could have automated so that I could have filled in all of the spaces here, but that's fine. That'll be fine, right? I filled in this. Therefore, that's $60 a piece. I get $120. The $120 is going to get split between my 40% share and the rest of the 60%, which is in the Swift Corporation itself. And then I'm also now, as I mentioned, right? What was it? That the so $120 is what I earned this round, which is double of this value here. So it's going to boink boink. So let me make sure that I know how to do math. So $120. So yeah, so $12 per share, and I own 40% or 4 shares essentially. So I'm going to earn to my person $48 from the bank. If you hear me clicking on the calculator, I have no shame. I'm not ashamed to use my calculator.
I'm calculating while Chris is taking his turn, my turn, so I'll just look smarter than him.
Yeah. I mean, you always look smarter than me, so whatever. Okay, so I've got that, and therefore the remaining of the $120 is $72, which is going to get paid right back into the Swift company.
How much? 72?
72, por favor.
50, 60, 72.
Alrighty. Thank you. So, my company's riding okay here. It's maintaining like a $150 balance or so, which is pretty good. So I paid my goods, I sold, right? So boom, I don't get this bonus, which is too bad, but it'll be in place next round when I really want to try and double $100 per share, which that'll be pretty hard, but this $50 bonus at that point will be nice. So anyway, that's me saying the Swift company is done. Since nothing here is empty, stuff is not going to slide down, we now move to the BBC, which is not the British Broadcast Company, but the Brunswick Balkan Colander Co.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and have to pay a whole $100 to make both factories work because I've got 90 for these and 10 for this.
Whew.
So pricey, I would just like to say. My company nets $74 and I net $116 as a person, though. So it works out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run both my factories, create 3 goods.
1, 2, 3 goods.
And unlock this fabulous little extra worker here because that's wonderful. It's all I ever wanted with life. That's not true. Okay, so I have 3. Go ahead and place them over there for me, my 3 goods.
Okay.
So they sell at $80 a piece, so that's going to be $240 for those, plus my $50 completion bonus there. So that is $290.
Good gravy.
Gonna go ahead and get 40% of that is $116 for me.
Wow.
And $174 for my company. So
Brunswick's doing well.
feeling good about life. But that 100 is gone.
That's the
what
100
I paid
spent,
for cubes.
yes.
So
Man, it's like bowling balls are growing on trees over there.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Which
5.
would be frightening.
That would be horrifying to stand under.
Yes. Don't recommend it.
Lots of animals would have concussions. All right, there's my money.
So it's really nice that your company has a lot of money because you're about to have 4 workers in this coming round, which is fantastic.
It's also nice that I personally have money so that I can really invest in another company and make it do good stuff.
This is true. Okay, so BBC is now operated. We have a blank area, so these are going to slide down. And if we could go ahead and get the bag out and draw 4 more resource cubes to go ahead and fill up the...
That's a nice variety there.
That is actually good variety, yeah. Okay, so jokes on the Cracker Jack Company. Remember how I made it so no cubes slid down so Wendy would have to pay a lot? Well, now the 1 brown cube that I need is $30. So Cracker Jack is up next. And yeah, I want stuff to happen for sure. So I'm going to pay $30 straight to the bank to grab this brown cube here. So that'll be able to operate. The question is, should I buy that black cube now? Or should I wait until later? Because there's no guarantee that it's going to be cheaper at that point. That I'm not sure about. I'm gonna pass because Cracker Jack does not have a lot of money, and it's going to need money to take actions next round. So I don't want to deal with that yet. So I produce 2 goods for Cracker Jack. They're only going to sell at $30 a piece. So that makes this kind of hard. I really wish I could have automated so that I could moved up 2 steps. But that'll be fine. So Cracker Jack is going to sell over here into the dry foods market or whatever it is.
I forgot to move us up.
Oh, yeah, please.
So,
I moved Swift
you
up
do yours.
twice.
I only doubled.
Yes.
Because I did what?
290.
Yeah.
Wait, where were you at? You were at $80?
Yeah, I was at $80. I did $290.
That's triple.
That's triple. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Look at that.
I was counting it before the $50 bonus when I thought of it before.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the British Broadcasting Company is doing really well for itself.
Woohoo.
Look how high up its share price has jumped up. Okay, so Cracker Jack, on the other hand, only earned $60 this round, and I have 30% of that, so $60 times 0.3. Chris, the person, gets $18. Banker, could I have $18, please?
Yeah.
And then could I also have $42 for the company?
There you go. Go trade in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those.
If in case anyone was wondering, the mini poker chips we got on discountpokerchips.com. They have the mini ones. They also have lots of like regular ones and customizable ones and all that stuff. But the mini ones are super good for the size of your company treasuries and your personal treasuries and stuff. So really like them for this game. Okay, so now all 3 of the companies that are active have gone.
All right, so we're going to move up to the clean up phase right there.
Okay, so clean up. Everybody do your share. I'm going to take my workers back. I want my workers back.
We also get our extra worker.
Yeah, technically at the start of the 3rd round. Whatever, same difference.
It counts.
So yeah, we'll do that.
These disappear.
Yep. So everything will slide down now. I'll take care of the capital assets here. If you'll take care of the the goods, please. Slide, slippity slide. Other cleanups. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pay my brown cube for Cracker Jack. Someone's yelling at me in the YouTube comments already. We're doing our best. So I paid that brown good from Cracker Jack. So we're good there. We're set. Yeah.
All right, we ready to go back to? We on to next round? These clear off?
That's right. This is the one that is completed. Now, this is where you're going to notice that since we are out of replacement tiles, this manufacturing goods industry is going to start hurting. Once Wendy fills all of these in, the tiles will start getting removed. Wendy dealt out the new, the last 2nd round buildings. So yeah, so go ahead and move us up to the stock phase and move the decade, the round tracker up. We have now crossed
1895. I don't know.
We just hit we just passed the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. So we should probably stop this game and go and play World's Fair 1893, right?
Yeah, if we wanted to create a real life experience, because that's what games are.
Yeah, we're just having a Chicago-thon. I'm sure that us fancy pants investors are definitely the people that were trying to make a lot of money from the World's Fair, right?
All right, so I have the train of power. I'm going to invest first, and you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually invest in Elgin National Watch Company, and I'm going to start it out at $60 a share again. Can I have the little markers here?
Elgin.
I'm just straight up super hardcore investing in this. We'll see how this goes down. So okay. I need 180, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I have $24 left over, for better or for worse, but I'm gonna invest big and see what happens.
Oh hey, man, little steps here and there. So my company price for Cracker Jack does increase.
Oh good.
I forgot to move that up the one step. So that does happen there.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get my 30% that I own in Elgin Waffles.
Elgin Waffle Company.
Elgin National Waffle Company.
National Waffles, that's right. Ooh, I don't have a lot of money from last round, and so either I could pass. I am just shy of $100. I'd like to own another share of Swift, maybe. Interesting. Or maybe I should jump in the Elgin game. Or I don't have $140, so I can't invest in Brunswick.
Oh, I didn't put the money here. I put it in the bank. So let me grab that. What was it? 180.
180. Yeah, $60 per share. You have to buy three shares essentially as the president of the company. One of the small rule is in a 2-player game, we can only have 10 total certificates. A president share is worth 30%. There's a preferred stock share, which is worth 20%. That's not how preferred shares work, but that's cute for the game. And then there's all of the basic shares that are worth 10%. So you can only, as a player in a 2-player game, have 10 pieces of paper in front of you. So that's why these preferred shares at 20% are efficient. But if you're the president of the company, you can't have the 20% preferred share, just FYI. Mm-hmm. Okay, so with the amount of money that I have, I can only invest in either one of these 2 bottom companies, either Elgin or Cracker Jack. The thing is that if I invest in Elgin, I'm giving Wendy more money to work with. I might get a bigger payout in the end, but I'm going to put my money in Cracker Jack. And not a sentence I was expecting to say. So for $40, I can get an additional share. So $40 goes over here to good old CJ. So I'm going to give myself another stock certificate in Cracker Jack. So now I own 40% of both of my companies, hopefully meaning that I'll get more dividends paid out to me. Back to Wendy. Are you going to continue to invest?
I am not.
You kind of, yeah.
I do need my automation cubes, though.
Oh, yeah. You need, what, 4 of them? Okay. Here you go. Elgin Company. So I've got money sitting here, and as a rule of thumb, it's generally, money just sitting here isn't really going to do much unless I super much plan on opening a new corporation next round. But I might rather prefer that Cracker Jack have some more money to work with. So I'm going to invest another $40 over here into good old CJ. So meaning I will grab one more piece of another certificate. So now I own 5 stock certificates. And so yeah, that's half of everything that I'm allowed to own.
Pretty impressive.
Yes, thank you. Now that all being said, I guess that's that, right? is that everything for the... Yeah, so I'm going to pass. Or you
Yeah,
pass,
I'm going to go ahead and pass. Let's go ahead and choose our buildings. I realize I should have thought about this beforehand.
I think I've quite got mine picked out. Go there. So yeah, this is when we would grab our new extra directors. And out of these ones, I'm going to go ahead and trash this one. Because I don't know if that's going to be... Oh, you know what? No, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of it. Because maybe in the future, this will become important. You know, that whole discount thing. So I'm going to go and set this in front of me.
All right. Did you get the prestige one? Because I did not.
I did get the prestige one. This is unusual. I got both of these this time. Last time we played, Wendy, you got both of those. So.
And I had so much income because there's no way for this company to move up except by paying Chris, basically. Or I could go here very slowly.
Very slowly and takes more workers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's rough. Okay, so we did the building phase. We have to add 2 new workers into the market.
Nice.
Here you go, workers. Come on out, guys. The jobs are plentiful. Sorry, I don't know why.
That's adorable. All right, you take first turn. What are you going to do?
What I really want is to go here is I want my Swift company to pay my person $50 so that, one, I finally have some more money I can hopefully invest in another company next round. I pay myself $50 to move up 3 prestige. So not only do I get 1, 2, 3, I get to automate as I pass this by. Whoopsie. I will get to, so now this factory is completely automated, which is great. But I also move onto this step right here, meaning I get my 4th worker, which is good because you having 4 workers kind of scared me a little bit. Hey, also one thing worth mentioning, this spot right here, we haven't gone there. This is the bank is going to pay your company $40. This one that just got unlocked because we've dealt out all of the level 2 building tiles is now $60 to your company from the bank. Only one person can go here, multiple people can go to these ones. If anyone's wondering, this spot is if your company has at least $100, you can initiate a dividend right away, dividend payout of $100 to whoever owns shares in it. So, okay. That was my first action. I think I done did everything that I was supposed to do with it.
All right, so I realized that I had set aside which company I wanted, but I grabbed the wrong one. I set it in the wrong place. I wanted this. I wanted the shoes.
Okay, so we're going to get rid of Elgin?
Yeah, sorry. It's actually Doggett, Bassett, and Hills. DBH.
DBH.
So, nothing else changed up to this point. It just literally, I grabbed the wrong one. What color is that one? That one's the...
That one's black. Very dark.
All right.
Yeah, DBH. Okay.
Okay. Sorry for that confusion. That's what I get for choosing my turns way before my turn happens.
All right.
Okay.
So you own the president's share there. Look, if anyone's going to criticize anything, like, honestly, you try and do a recorded game session. Yeah, they even look very similar. The same amount of workers and all that.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. Is the price was the same. The automation tokens were the same. It just was literally the shoe and the that. So it's actually on level 1.
Okay, yeah, DBH.
Yeah.
So DBH is going to cover up Crackerjack. It's going to take priority. So yeah, I'm going to kind of offset it if possible. DBH is on top of CJ.
Okay, and
I got felded again.
Ha ha ha.
Let's try and make that a term.
Well, yeah, that's true, because I did come this after. This happened after. Oh, it even also doesn't have this thing also. It's so much the same. So very much the same.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so first things first, I'm going to buy inexpensive workers from it. So I'm going to spend... $20
a piece.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and buy... Oh, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to buy 1. Because you can only purchase for 1 company. I can't split. Not that I need people over here, but... 20... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. We're just going to go and spend the 40 this time round.
Okie doke.
40 today. People eating tomorrow.
All right, very good, very good. So you did the worker action over here.
Mm-hmm.
I did that. Interesting. This leaves the prestige action open to me should I want to do it.
Should you feel like you should be prestigious?
Yeah, I mean, moving up prestige is really nice. It gets me more personal money, but I might choose to leave it so that maybe Wendy wants to move her company up, and so she's going to pay me that money instead. So I'm going to take one of my workers, and I think that what what I should probably want to do...
I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and pay the 10 for this as well.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I guess it's fairly inconsequential. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, there's a lot of tough questions. What do I want to do here? Because I could grab that, I could get this and that, I could one up the other, I could this and the zoozle and the woozle and the stuff, right? It's really tough. $30 for a manager. We haven't shown what the managers can do yet, but the managers give you this extra benefit up here when you fire off a factory, and getting more prestige is super nice. Getting more prestige or getting cubes and stuff. This is a fairly cheap way to actually kind of get cubes back into your system. And paying $30 for a manager is way better than paying $60, but this is going to go to Wendy instead of to the bank. So, ooh, what a series of choices I have. What a series of choices indeed.
I feel like my turns are super short and yours are a little bit longer, so I have like time to think about my turns, so then my turns continue to be short.
I see.
Just because you went first.
It's true, yeah.
And you've had to explain a lot of stuff, whereas I'm like, I do this, done. Though I'm in a bit of a pickle right now.
Are you?
So, we'll see.
I think Crackerjack is going to go big into this employee game here. I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 employees.
Whew, glad I did that last turn.
Yeah, that's too bad. But I just had to grab that while I could. So $60 is going to go to the bank, and $60 is going to grab me 2 employees. You might be saying, Chris, what are you doing, you numbskull? You need 1 more employee over here. Yeah, that sure would be like a shame or something if I didn't, I don't know, maybe automate. Ugh. It's, too bad giving away clues.
All right. I literally want to do everything, and I can't because that's existence and that's life. Question, I just want to clarify. I used this, but if I purchase another one, I can use it this round, correct?
Yes, so you're allowed to have 1 on your company charter, but you are allowed to replace them as well. And so we've had to clarify this. So yeah, you're going to go ahead and pay to replace.
Pay the bank $40. Let's just take 60 back.
Very good.
Pay the bank $40 to remove that one. Get this one. This lets me just increase my prestige once every round, but it also automates my last worker and gives me that final 4th good that I really, really want.
All right, dude, you're out of a job. Get out of here, worker.
Yeah, we don't believe in hiring people in my company, apparently. I don't understand how that works to be completely 100% automated,
yeah.
But...
All right, Brunswick is treating you nicely. That's very good.
Yep. And I will go ahead and move up the 1 prestige.
In Brunswick?
Yep.
Okay, BBC. Moving on up in the world.
Please move down, and you can take your turn.
I'll think about it. If I wanna. Okay. So, yes, the other thing that I can do now, I for sure want to automate. Now, you took that one thing that had the automation bonus on it that was cheap. Mm-hmm. I could pay the bank. Oh, you know what? This is really nice. Because I could either go here and pay Wendy $40 to automate, or I could go... ooh, interesting.
Pay $60 to automate?
See, I could pay... Yeah, so I want to grab this because I want to automate 1 worker. But moving up in prestige would also be really nice. It would get me a useless worker. Ooh, I should have thought of that before I paid money for workers. I didn't think this is going to be a viable
You also thought it
option.
was going to be 70, so...
I did think it was going to be 70, yeah. So I
Yeah.
could get a $10 discount but pay 20 extra, but pay that 22 to me rather than to you, and I think that...
You don't have a spot for this. Is that where you wanted it?
So that's the thing, right, is you are allowed to
Okay, the
get a
one
capital
time.
asset only for the one-time bonus or bonuses, but I won't be able to keep this price protection benefit where my stock can never go down in price. I think that... Okay, how much is that going to cost? That would cost me 20 here plus discount of this. So that would cost me $70. So it's 50, 60, 70. That leaves me with not a lot of money to buy cubes from the market, unfortunately. As great of an action as that would be, that also could be potentially really devastating if I can't get the cubes to fire this off. I really regret spending the extra $30 on a worker here, not realizing that this 2 prestige would have gotten me a worker
That hurts.
anyway from that, yeah.
It just hurts.
In the words of Heavy Cardboard, plan better. So yeah, let me... Oh boy, I'm going to have to really think if that's worth it or not. It's so sad.
You also could just pay me money.
I could just pay you money, yeah. So that's the thing, is I could go here, automate.
I did already pay you 30 once this game, so paying me 40 almost evens it out.
Almost evens out, yeah. But, yeah, that's that... Because that would make it a lot cheaper. That would make it so that I still have money so that I could guarantee get the cubes that I need to be able to operate all of the factories here and produce a lot of different goods, which would be really great in this economy here, because my goods themselves are not worth a ton of money by themselves. So anyway, choices fill my head. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said... So what would this leave me with? This would leave me with only 30, 40 usable dollars, which would mean I would have to really hope that by the end of Wendy's purchasing in the market, that I would need to be able to get preferably 3 cubes from $40, which is incredibly unlikely, given that there's not even like a lot of brown coming from there. But I forgot that these actions are here to get more money back into your company. So I'm going to pay 20 to myself, which is much better deal, to pay 60 minus the $10 discount. So that's $50 to the bank. $50 to the bank to get this tile, only for its one-time benefit. I don't get the price protection. This normally means your company can never move down in price. But what I'm going to do is get the automation token just like I did and move up to prestige like that. So now my company's more prestigious than stupid DBH. So I don't get to keep this, though. This has to get tossed. That's discarded out of the game because I don't have this spot for a capital asset.
I'm coming here, but I can't decide which company I want to do it with. This one it's so expensive to run. It is so expensive to run cube-wise.
That's true. So
And there's,
getting
like,
2 cubes back every
No
round.
browns in the market.
That would give you more independence from the market because Haymarket Square just has tons of every cube that we need.
But this just has money sitting here, but it's not going to have money sitting here if I invest heavily into it. So I can't fully decide. The stress of life. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and do... How are we doing with money? We're okay. We're like 100 something. So I think I'm going to do this one. This is my heavy hitter.
Brunswick is knocking it out of the park, yeah.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and pay 30 for this one to myself because money's awesome for me. And I'm going to get one of these guys.
Okay, what is that? The market or the manager, rather?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and invest this one over here. So the 30 will have come from this fellow.
From Doggett Bassett Hound over there, or
Yeah.
Doggett Bassett Hill?
Doggett,
Doggett
Bassett.
and Hill. Okay. on my last action. I have this worker, but I don't want to do anything for necessarily either my company to spend money because there's not a ton of money in either of my companies. So I'm going to go to one of these spots here to get money back into the company. I'm going to plead with the government and say, you should really maybe think about investing in your old pal Crackerjack. We might become one day an American icon. So I'm going to grab $60 from the bank, please, for the Crackerjack company.
In the end, is this worth it to pay 70? It would have to go 7 times. I'd have to sell 7 goods. And I'm only selling 2 this round to make that break even.
For the
Does that make
Brunswick.
sense? Yeah, does that make sense? Does it make more sense to come here and pay that? Or you just get 2 pink cubes and just be like, it counts as 1 cube of something for me for the future.
That's true, yeah. This is not bad because it would give Brunswick a blue and a black cube, right? And then you would need to get 3 brown cubes, which is doable, I think, right? Well, I mean, I don't know how much money it has left, but 1 brown, 2 blacks can function as a brown, 2 blues can function as a brown.
Okay, so let's pay 50. Come here.
It's really expensive.
Upgraded twice. This company went through 2 of these. For a blue and a black.
Don't forget, you also get your one-time bonus. So
Oh,
check it
yes.
out. So that's 2 prestige.
Which gives me, that gives me what I wanted anyways.
Yeah, so you do get one of those
Nifty,
marketers.
Okay. Which could be worth it. So I get a blue and a black.
Go ahead and dig that from Haymarket Square.
Blue and a black. Maybe we can function.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the end of the worker placement phase.
Okay.
Whoops, we forgot to move to the
Well, yes.
We were doing workers. It's okay.
Okay, so run your factory.
So Swift is going to go first, and Swift already has these resource cubes sitting here, so it doesn't have to spend that money, actually. So that's kind of nice. But do I want to buy stuff? Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, I could spend $20 to get that blue cube for the future. So I'll go ahead and do that. So buy a blue cube, put it down there.
Blue cubes
so this goes to the bank. I'm not going to force any of these to slide down, so that's probably okay. Because Wendy needs black and brown for BBC, so I'm going to stick her with, these are cheaper, and then what's going to happen is after she runs BBC, stuff will slide down. So hopefully Crackerjack will be able to buy some affordable cubage. All right. So anyway, that's that. That's what I'm going to do. Swift is going to go ahead and pay these 2 to the Haymarket Square. What was I doing? This. I'm going to spend $10 to fire off the Swift company.
Okay, so I would need 60, 70, 80, 90, 120. Do I have that? 120. That would get both factories to run.
Which is going to be a lot of money.
Which means I would not have been able to afford this y'all. But in the future, it's still 2 cubes. So.
And it's 2 cubes that you need on a recurring basis.
Yeah.
So that's pretty...
Ugh, these just keep getting so expensive. And now I've made it very cheap for your company. Oh, except they're not the things you need.
That's true. Yeah, we'll see what comes out.
We'll see what comes out. But I definitely have felt very struggling with this company.
Brunswick is tough. I operated this last time, and it feels great
This
getting
one goes
so
here.
much money so quickly, especially when you have one of these marketers out here and stuff. But good grief, is it so expensive to just get the cubes to operate it?
It is. But you get a lot of money, so I guess that works. Now, I did not do the math beforehand. So, will you put those out there while I calculate
Sure.
So I have 4 goods sold at $90 each.
Plus, you're going to get this $50 bonus.
Right. So I have 370 plus 50.
And if anyone's wondering, 1 good in this factory plus the automation bonus. 1 good here plus the automation bonus.
That's 420, which, what is this times 3?
That would be $420.
420, so it will, sweet. That's exciting. That's going to be, it's worth it. This is worth the money. That's the thing, is it feels so expensive.
Yeah.
feels overwhelmingly expensive, but it's worth the money. So that means I will get $42 times 4, which is 126 for me, personally.
I know that we're getting people saying, Chris, you didn't finish Swift Company yet because of your weird take-backsies. We're going to finish out Brunswick, then I'm going to finish out Swift. It doesn't actually affect what's going on here.
So 420 minus 126 is... Can you just calculate for me real quick? 420 minus 126?
420 minus 126 is $294.
See, it's worth it. 75.
That's how much money is going back into Brunswick?
85, 90, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we definitely made money. We definitely made money. We spent a lot of money, but we made money.
You netted a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's all okay. Okay, sorry. This goes up.
Go ahead and move that up 3 times.
Which is awesome.
Which now is going to be so much harder to move this up because you have to have
invest in
a massive amount sold. But you might be able to do that again and get 2 times, but
that's
likely
not gonna happen.
likely not, because you're not going to get this $50 bonus.
Yeah, and I can't produce 6 goods next turn. So next round's not going to make quite as much money. But.
Okay. So I know everyone's saying, oh my gosh, right? Take backs and stuff. But Swift Company is going to finish. I paid the $10 to operate this in order to get 2 cubes. I'm going to assume that these are just cubes of ham. To go over here and get this from Swift, I'm supposed to produce 3 goods. So this is where we're at. Right? Swift produces 2 here plus the automation bonus. I don't run the second factory. So I'm going to go ahead and get 3 goods for Swift. So with these 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sell them. They are pig goodies, right? They are the whatever assets. So these go over here. 1, 2, 3 goods. Now, like I mentioned before, I didn't get this bonus last time, but now I'm selling for 60. 60 times 4 is 60 times 4 is 240, plus a $50 bonus is 290, if I did that correctly.
Ooh, you were 10 shy from a triple move. You're only getting a double move.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So 290, I own this is Swift. I own 40% of it. So the amount that I'm getting paid to my person from the bank is $116, please. I'm not sure about this. I hope that all the money is showing on the camera. I'm afraid that the tripod might have slid a little bit, so I'm going to slide the companies up a little bit so we can see the bank easier. The joy of recording an over 2-hour game. Okay,
in 10-minute increments.
So anyway, this ran, Wendy moved me up 2 steps, which is definitely not 3. Brunswick is running away with it. But I did sell. I'm good here. I got that bonus. Yada, yada, yada. Swift is good. So Swift has now completed. It will move to BBC, which Wendy just completed.
Happened. I'm sorry. I thought it was my turn. I didn't realize you hadn't run yet.
Yeah, I was in the middle of it, and that's fine. Right. So, like I said.
So this will finish BBC's turn.
Ooh, yeah. So we get to add 4 cubes to each of these spaces here. Let's see what you give good old Cracker Jack.
It's a good thing there's pinks.
Oh, that's a lot of black cubes.
Oh, where are the browns?
They're all in Haymarket Square. You've used them up already.
I've used them all. Goodness gracious.
Okay, so BBC is done. We're going to go now here to operate in the Cracker Jack company. That's right. Those do slide down. So once again, this is what more competent play should look like, I guess. So I need a brown, a black, and a blue. The blue I'm for sure going to grab here for $20. And this is the funny thing. I can either pay 30 and 30 for $60 to get those 2. Or I could get these for 70, but that's just silly, right? So, I have to pay another $60, 30 and 30, to grab these ones. So I spent a total of $80 in cubes this round. So I better make a decent chunk of change. So I'm going to be able to fire off both factories here of the Crackerjack Company. So all of these cubes are spent. I have all the workers and automation necessary. So brown goes away, blue, and black. So I have done that. What happens? I'm going to be able to produce 2, 3 for this bonus, 4, 5. So 5 goods are going to come out. 5 goods for Crackerjack. 5 of them are selling $30 a piece. And then I'm also going up here to the foods market. So I'm going to get that $50 bonus. So that's $200 total. I, as Chris, own 50% of the shares in Crackerjack. Therefore, of that $200 earnings, $100 will go straight to me, and the other $100 will go straight to the company itself. Now, I have paid $40. I'm still below this line, right? So, unfortunately, I can't triple move. I can only double move and do that. So, bank, may I have $100 for me and $100 for the Crackerjack Company. Splendid.
I realized I did my math wrong, so I'm fixing the math that I did wrong.
Oh, did you do?
I did.
Trusty calculator, man.
Right, I'm doing it all by hand.
My finance calculator. You
4
want me to do
times
the?
4 is 16, not 12.
Do you want me to amortize the present value and find the payment amount with the interest? I haven't used this in years. Okay.
Okay, so 126 is really supposed to be 166. And 400, or sorry, what was it? What was this number? What was 420 minus 126? I didn't write it down because you did that calculation.
420 minus 126 was 126, right? 294. That's right. Yeah.
So 294 is really supposed to be 254. So $40 is supposed to go with this company, or to myself. Okay, $40 difference.
Okay. Is that just because you own 10% more than you thought you did or something? Or
Yeah, I just multiplied wrong.
Okay.
I multiplied 4 times 4 equals 12 instead of 16. That's all.
Oh.
So it was 164 instead of 124.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Did your...
So yeah, Crackerjack just finished. It paid out. It got the bonus. Yada, yada, yada. So nothing is empty in the market. So...
Okay.
So nothing slides down or anything. That's the end of Crackerjack, and now we go to good old DBH.
Okay, DBH is going to pay $50 to the bank for trading 2 of those in for a black. We'll run our system, get 2 whole things.
You had a black and a pink there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You bought 3 pink cubes. Okay, very good.
Which is $100.
How much do you produce? 2 goods, right?
Yeah, 2 goods. They
2
go
goods. There you go.
over in the shoe area. It only moves up 1 space. So we did not increase by that much. So the $100, what do I own? I own 30% of that. So I get $30 to my person and $60 to my company. Plus my company also gets a cube of choice, which will be pink or black, pink or black. I'm going to take a brown. No. I'm going to take a brown. There's no brown now. Maybe we'll get the second side to work next round.
Really quick, did you say that you sold for $100, right? $50 for each good?
Yeah.
You said 30 to you?
Yeah, because I own 30%.
So 70 to the company.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I said 60.
You said 60.
Oh, man. Mental math, baby.
Yeah, calculator all the way.
Gotta be right on.
I'm an accountant. I don't do math in my head.
But I also move up 1 prestige. So
that DBH.
slowly but surely we're going to get there.
Okay, slide on up, pal. And then you got your cube and you got the prestige.
Uh-huh.
Very good. Very good. So, yes, what else? So that's the end of the operating phase, correct?
Sounds good.
All right. End of the operating phase. We did all the bonuses. So this is going to slide down because it's empty. These come on down. If you want to go ahead and replace that with 4 cubes.
1 brown.
1 brown.
It is hurting.
That is rough. Okay. Now we're on the cleanup phase, I suppose, right?
Okay, sounds good.
So this comes on, slides down. We are in cleanup phase.
This pink is gone. Let's move those down.
Pink goes over here to
Yep.
Haymarket Square. This
Draw 4 more.
capital asset goes away as well. And we're going to slide them down. Slide to the right.
If anyone's going to open a company, they should open a company that requires blue and black. Goodness gracious.
So yeah, the capital assets here give you cubes, give you prestige, give you money.
Well, you require a lot of blue. So blue has been used.
Blue has been used, yeah.
Pink has been the least because you've got... You pull it from Haymarket Square.
That's true, yeah. This is I'll just reset my capital asset now, I guess. Yeah, and you can do the same thing.
Okay, did we empty this?
I just did the capital assets.
Okay,
You just did the
empty those
cubes.
robes.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. So all of these are gone now.
Now pass out these ones.
Oh, yes. Phase 3 buildings. So those are gone. These are going to slide over. So the benefit of those sliding over is that it means that this $50 bonus will be easier to get now that some of the stuff has gone on there. But you'll notice Wendy's big heavy hitter industry here, the manufactured goods, once this runs out, this will get taken off, and there'll be no more supply there. So she'll have to sell here to get the $20 bonus instead of the $60 bonus. But she's selling her stuff for so much, it's not hurting too bad, I don't think.
All right, we need to go ahead and move to the investment phase, take our workers back.
That's true. I do like having workers. And the round marker will advance. So we're in 1905. We have now entered the 20th century.
I think my grandmother was born in 1905.
Okay, so yeah, well, let's go pay a visit to old
Olive.
Olive. That's right.
Every time I say, "That's okay, Mom, I'll live," she'd always say, "Aw, my mom." All right, so I'm the first one to invest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fully invest in Doggett and Bassett Hill Company. I am going to invest.
So you have to buy shares one at a time.
30 shares in this. That's Brunswick.
That's
Try
Brunswick,
again.
and you have to purchase them one at a time.
Oh, one at a time.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm going to purchase a share for $80.
$80, yep.
$20 change.
So there's part of me that's looking at this. I don't have enough money to invest in Brunswick. I would be pretty happy if I could right now, but I don't think that I can. Swift Company's at $140 a share, so I could either invest in another share of Swift, which would give Swift a swift kick in the pants in terms of its economic budget, or I could open up the Henderson Company, CM Henderson, and I'm really debating doing this because Wendy is operating without any competition here in the shoes space. I mean, given each one of our companies is not in direct competition, this one could potentially quickly produce a lot of shoes and kind of fill in these gaps here and get some benefit. And if I start it off fairly cheap, then it can shoot up and become worth a lot more. So the question is, if I spend $140 in Swift, is the potential of it moving up quicker going to really outweigh starting up a new company, starting it low, and in the next 2 rounds building it up? I'm going to go with my gut and actually go through with Swift, I think. So, yeah. So $140
I appreciate the lack of competition
into Swift. Yeah.
in the shoe industry, in the high-end shoe industry, because mine are worth $50 a pair and yours are.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start spreading rumors like Thomas Edison did. Oh, you make your shoes out of basset hounds. The Doggy Basset Hound Company. So I'm going to go ahead and own another share of Swift.
All right. Then I will also buy another Basset Hound. 50, 60, 70, 80.
Wow, that's tough to think about. Okay, so one of the things that's starting to become relevant at this point is the idea of endgame bonuses up here. $200 per endgame bonus is fairly important. So how many 10% shares do you have right now? You have 3 10% shares?
10% shares. You have 4?
I have 4, which means you're going to... I mean, now that you've told me already. But anyway, So barring knowing that ahead of time, you know, if we ties are friendly, we each get $200, but it's a 2-player game, so it's no difference or anything, right? So most capital assets, we're also tied on that. So maybe it'd be worth me investing in a company that can get a capital asset, so I can get $200 edge over you in the end. Most marketers, you and I are tied right now at 1 marketer each. You know, geez Louise. Most money at the end of the game, Brunswick's probably going to pay you a lot. And then most, over here, 20% shares, most preferred shares. All of your companies are so expensive, I can't afford any preferred shares in them, so I don't know what's going to happen there. We might tie at 0. I don't even have that much money left, actually. I've only got 25, 40 some odd bucks. Yeah, I can't actually invest even in Cracker Jack right now, so I have to pass, actually. So yeah, it's going to go back to you.
All right. Well, I am just going all the way in investing. It's a fancy word for investing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is almost all of my personal money. I've invested so much into Doggett Bassett and Hills Company. I hope that they make me so much profit. All right, let's go ahead and... You said you passed. You pass again?
Yes, I'm going to pass.
I pass again.
Okay, so this is going to go to the left of the person who last took a investment action. So Choo Choo Train here will come to me. So I got old Choo Choo Pal over there. We're going to go ahead and, in the building phase, select the building that we want. This would be amazing, but it's so dangerous because if Brunswick got it, that would be the end of me forever. Plus 3 items. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that.
I wish I had that one.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to let that get built. So I'm going to build this one here instead, and I'm going to hold on to this one. So let's reveal...
I was thinking about doing this one, but it's not useful for me.
Okay. Oh, you have to discard one?
Yes, I have to discard one. Let's discard that one.
Okay. So we go ahead and reveal these.
Alrighty.
So what is it? 2 workers? Yeah, 1 here, 1 there.
Yeah.
2 workers get added to the market. It's cool that the workers have never gotten super expensive. All right. So that's the end of the building phase.
You know what? Sorry, not looking at yours. I think I want to do this. Sorry, just thinking about my personal strategy.
Okay. So that doesn't change the number of workers that get added out. Boom. Okay. So the number of those things done. So go ahead and move the marker.
Automation row, baby.
Automation row. Glory row.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing that I want to do, I reckon, is starting now in the worker placement phase. I'm pretty sure that I want Swift to pay me $50. So $50 goes to me, my person. So the 3, 1, 2, 3 prestige or popularity, whatever that's called. So I pass this icon here, meaning I get one of these production tokens. So now my my company is going to produce an extra good every time with this.
Okay, I'm going to come here. I'm going to pay 90, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 to my person to start both factories. My goal was to throw so much money into this that I'll be able to super run it. See if that actually happens or not.
That's looking pretty solid on you.
All right, your turn.
Okay, so now with my second worker, what do I want to do? I think, oh man, I think this is worth it here. So Cracker Jack is going to go over here. Cracker Jack is going to pay me $30. Would you mind giving me some change for 100? Wonderful. So $30 is going to go to myself so that Cracker Jack can bump up 2 prestige points and get itself a marketer. So now it's not going to sell for such crummy small money bucks. So 30 of those dollars goes from Cracker Jack to Crisser Jack. Alrighty, indeed.
Where did you get the blue cube from?
I had these sitting down here. I bought the blue cube extra last round.
Oh, I thought that we had... Okay, you're not actually going to empty that out, huh? You're just going to make everything expensive again.
No, because look over here. I need 2 more blue cubes to run the
I thought
second
you only needed
factory.
1. Okay.
Yep. So
We're okay then.
I mean, I could be a total dweeb, a total jerk, and buy 1 from here and 1 from here, but I don't know. That would actually be a jerk move.
Truth. I think I'm gonna do is go ahead and first I'm gonna spend. Oh, I don't spend. I just get.
Yeah, that one capital asset is free.
Blue and black.
You're gonna replace that before the last round of the game, huh?
Yep, I'm gonna replace it. This is the cheapest way for me to get cubes. I pay $40 to get 2 cubes. That's here instead of here.
Oh, that's
and
a good
I get
point.
2 prestige. So then I get a blue and a brown.
2 prestige for BBC, right?
Uh-huh.
So you get an automation, but you're already
fully
automated.
Fully automated. Okay. And
So you're gonna flip that asset tile over?
Flipped that over, got that. And I just have this extra blue hanging out, but it was worth it. Okay, your turn.
Okay, this is gonna flippity flip. Ooh, dang! After production, just
You
move
get
up
to
your
move
stock
up an
price
extra.
again. Yeah,
That's $30 difference for me.
that's huge, and that potentially, I mean, you could come here and do this action. You could get that twice because that's $30 here, $30 again, or $40 or whatever.
Sure.
Ooh, man, Swift might have to spend the money to do that because that's so good. That is a lot of money, though. Good grief. So I could either spend 80 to do that, or I could go back to my own action space, give myself some money again.
I didn't actually spend the 40.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's fair. Like, probably a good thing to do. So 40 went to...
The bank?
The bank. Oh, because you took this action. Okay.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I think I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to spend 20 from Swift to myself. I get a $10 discount, so that's going to be 70 to the bank. If I could get $30 change, please. I'm spending a lot of money in the Swift company, but I totally think that's going to be worth it. 30 in change. So I get this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the $10 here to fire this off now before I replace it. So $10 more out. I grab 2 pink cubes from Haymarket Square. So that's going to set me up. I'm set up for this round. This will set me up for the final round of the game. And now I can purchase this capital asset to replace this one. So this one's goodbye. Thank you for serving me so very faithfully for most of the game. This is going to come over here. I get a one-time benefit of getting another worker. So I get that right there.
Okay, I'm going to come back here real quick. Going to take this as well.
Sorry, this does refill first.
Doing the same thing all over again. Black and brown for $40.
That's really smart, actually. I didn't realize how good of a system that is for you. Is there a one-time bonus?
Sorry. There is 2 more prestige, so I get my extra worker.
You get your 5th worker. Yowza. So
it's way better than paying you 30 for 2.
That worked amazingly well. I'm really surprised. Brunswick is your big hitter. It's just such a... Wow. Okay. I just can't believe how you've gotten that to work. And another one of these comes out. I don't have the money. I can't just keep you from getting this. That's ridiculous. That's great. Okay. So I've got 1 worker left, and unfortunately, I need to either automate this or buy a worker, whatever is cheaper. $40 for 2 prestige. Hey, you know what? I'm going to take a play out of your book, go over here, and spend $40. So $40 to the bank in order to grab this one right here. Oh, no. No. That's not what I want. Oh, because this 2 prestige is not in me. But I want to... because that would give me this one-time bonus if I did that. Now, what I think that I'll just do instead of grab this... Oh, because that would give me the automation token. Well, this would have been a waste then. Sunk cost bias is setting in, right? I already paid a lot of money for that. So if I grab this one, I get to automate a worker, which would mean that I would have enough to operate this factory. It would make this one potentially a little bit cheaper for you. What did I pay, $40?
You would go up one anyways.
I would go up one anyway, but what I think that I'm going to do instead is go up to this spot here to pay $20. Can I get $20 back then? Because I paid $40. I'll take $20 back into the company. Oh no, but that doesn't work because that doesn't get my my last employee. So
Give me the money back.
Maybe I should either go here and have to spend $30 to get the last one employee that I need so that I can produce a lot of stuff and get this production bonus, and maybe this will still be around. Probably not, because you are a fiend at this stuff over here, and maybe you'll even get to go in front of me, so I have no idea what to do. This is painfully tough. I really want this extra production recurrent. I think that's going to be a huge benefit. Wow. Wow, this is a strangely tough choice. I'm just going to buy the worker, I think. What's going to be worth it more in the end, right? Because this can bump me up, maybe $20, $30 at a time. And so if I got rid of this, I would get the one-time bonus. Okay. Choice has been made. I will pay I'm going to pay the $40. We've come full circle. So okay. There's the remainder of it. I will go ahead and do this. This is not a complete waste because this did get me a worker, and in my mind it prevented you from getting it. Strike. Even though, not really. Good gravy. Now y'all get to see how clumsy I am. Okay, so I did this. I get one automation token, which means I displace this worker. Guys, you're not out of a job yet. And I'm going to flip this over to get the 2 prestige so that I can bump up here. I get 1 free bump up in my stock price. So that's all right. That's fine.
Pretty good.
Man, that was painful. That's my last action. So.
Okay. Alrighty. So now I have 2 actions, which is beautiful.
It is.
I'm definitely going to get this. Can you bump BBC up 1 space? And I get first place next round. It has been so annoying not to be first player. So here
you go. Brunswick gets to produce an extra good, which is just so perfect for me.
One shy filling it up. We're so close.
You can bump it up.
I paid 20 for that.
If you can bump it 4 more spaces, you'll get that.
I can't bump it 4 spaces with 1 worker. I will maybe next round, but
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And I'll be 1 shy for the following if that happens. So I'm not sure how to make that work. You should have put the thing out, honey.
I'm definitely not doing that.
I think my last one is I'm going to go ahead and pay 30 so this one can get the extra.
Wow.
That goes to me. That's beautiful. Can I have one of the managers, please?
Oh, manager? Yep.
Yeah. Which sadly, that's not the end game condition.
That is why I tried to make sure to get that second marketer.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
See how that goes, but
DBH is moving up because you are getting that prestige thing there. So
not that I need that dude. I'm fine on workers.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So the worker phase is done.
At the end of the game, the prestige doesn't mean anything. So.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Correct. So okay, go ahead and move the marker down. We're now going to go to the company operation phase, and Swift is going to go first, getting swifty with it. I've got the extra pink cubes for next time. I have so... Oh, this is great. So I'm going to spend...
Swift has paid so little for all of its cubes.
It really
has.
has.
The entire game.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this blue cube as well while it's cheap. So I will spend 10, 20, 30, 40... Because there's no guarantee it'll be even cheaper next round. So I got to get change for 40. I put these 2 blue cubes right there. Oh my gosh. You're knocking over these things like bowling pins. And okay, there's money left. So I now finally, in this penultimate round of the game, fire off both factories. So I get to unlock my 5th worker. That'll be available next round. So all of these resources are going to go on up to the Haymarket Square. Haymarket Square is super full of stuff. And now I produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 farm goods at $60 a piece. So Swift is not quite as good as Brunswick, but it is holding its own at least. So what is it? Yeah, 5 of them. So
I'm going to move these down just in preparation for...
Oh, yes, yeah, because my purchasing and stuff is done.
5 cubes come out now.
That's correct. So I sold $60 a piece times 5 of them. That's $300. But I also get this $50 bonus. So that's $350 total that was paid. So if I look over here, that is twice this amount. Just barely, but it is twice that, right? The $160. That would be 320. So yeah, 3. So that moves up twice spaces. Woo, I mean, Brunswick's going to blow it out of the water at the end of the game. So, okay. So I have did that.
The thing is I only have 40 shares in Brunswick where you have 50 shares in Swift, so...
That's true. So yeah, you being up, maybe $100-ish more than me at the end of the game might get counteracted. So we'll have to see what happens. So $350, half of that is going to come to me. So I get $175 from the bank, and then Swift gets $175. I gotta say, I really
50% math is so easy.
Yeah. Why doesn't everyone just own 50% of everything?
Right.
So that goes to me. This goes to
I owe
Swift.
60 and 40, so
that's almost
not
50. Yeah. Okay, so Swift is done, I believe. That is everything that it should be.
Progressing?
Yep.
Okay, so Brunswick, I'm actually only going to spend 30, 40, 50 because I'm going to trade in 4 blacks for 2 browns.
Okay, so you had extra black sitting there, and you bought the brown. Just narrating in case people weren't able to see what's going on.
That's fair. Okay, so I don't need that one. I need these ones. So, go ahead and do this, which will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that's disgusting.
5 at $90 each.
$90.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's the 5 that Brunswick produced. You want me to set those out for you?
Sure. So that's $460.
$450, right?
$50.
Because $90 a piece?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
$450. Can do math, I promise. Which is not quite, right? That would be $360. So we're good for double. We can move twice.
You do, correct.
Move twice. That's beautiful. Okay, so $450. So, what is it? 45 times 4 is 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 4, 16, 17, 18. So 180. 450 minus 180 is 270. Yes, 8 plus 7 is 15, right? 270 and 180. So 250, 60, 70, 2 Brunswick, and 1.
You silly reliance on mental math.
50, 60, 70, 80. It's not mental, it's on paper.
Paper math.
I mean, I guess it's mental mixed with paper. Got a lot of 10 sitting here. Okay. So that is that.
Okay, that's the end of BBC.
It's the end of BBC.
So how much did you get, sorry, and how much did the company get?
I got 180, the company got 270. Okay, so let's go ahead and move these down. What? Black or brown cubes? There's another cube there. Okay.
Okay, 5 more cubes.
5 more cubes.
In the forecast.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Good gravy.
5.
It's a good time to be swift.
I'm genuinely worried about Swift. Like, Like, I know that you have a little less money here than me, but you're just keeping up with me.
Sure.
We'll see what happens with the
yeah.
CJ and DBH.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen here. So, Crackerjack is up next. Crackerjack. Okay, Crackerjack is all loaded up. It can produce 5 things, but I need to get all the cubes. And you have purchased, like, all the cheap brownage. What do I need? I need blue and black. Okay, so I'm going to have to spend some semblance of it. I need brown, blue, and black. So the cheapest way to do this might just be $60. Or I could... Yeah, I don't think there's really a cheaper way to actually kind of go about it, huh? Even if I mix 2 of the same color. I was like, what the heck? I need brown. Yeah, so...
You need what? Brown and black? This would be...
I need brown,
30,
blue, and black.
40, 50, 60, 70, yeah.
Yep, so...
You're right.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be the same no matter what.
It's going to be the same or worse. So $60 it is. So I spend that to the bank, and I get 10... plus 20, plus 30 is all of the stuff that I need. So boom, that covers that. I've got the workers. And now I'm going to go ahead and produce 5 food bag items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're going to sell for $40 a piece. So 5 times 40 is 200. Plus I'm going to get that 50 bonus. Did I do that math right? It's just 5 times 4, so that's 200. Plus, I'm going to get that. Oh, that's tough. I'm not going to be able to get that bonus next round. So, 250. So when I look at the fact that it's still sitting at $60 a share, that's absurd. And so 250 is 3 times the amount of $60, right?
But you can't move 3 times.
Yes, I can, because thankfully I'm just crossed that line. Yeah.
Oh, it's the line. Okay.
This is one of the hard things to remember. The shaded area is the investment, the initial investment cost. Line is the triple space.
Got it.
Boom, I doubled the value of 5 shares. So thankfully Crackerjack is kind of coming in, what do people say? Coming in clutch, I think is what the youth of today say. That's definitely what they said in 1905 at least.
I'm sure.
It's coming in clutch, baby. Crackerjacks, invest away. So $250, I own 50%, so that's $125 to me, $125 to the company. I adore these poker chips so much.
So much.
125 there, 125. Well, no, sorry, not to Swift. To me, to Chris, the human. Okay. So that's Crackerjack is completed.
Okay. So it is Dog at Bassett Hills Company's turn. So we're going to spend a whole lot of money on cubes. So 10, 20, 30, 40. Just set that aside right there, 40.
Okay.
Then we need to figure out how to get a brown and a black.
One of your workers got bumped out of the way. So what do you need? A brown and a black?
Yes.
There it is.
Brown and a black. There we go. Y'all see? Okay, so take the black for 30 and then the brown for 40.
Turning into pink cubes for 1 brown.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
So that is $70 more. 70, 89, 110. I guess that wasn't as much as I was worried it was going to be. So we'll just say that I spent all those.
It's a pretty chunk of change nonetheless.
I brought them over. That goes here. 10, but we're producing 5 goods.
5 goods.
5 goods in the shoe. I'm so sad I didn't finish this last time because this one only gets a $20 bonus.
That's
and
correct.
It's going to be completed. So.
Oh, I guess I can just put these out for you.
It's
not it's not a mysterious puzzle. Go ahead and do your paper math.
Okay, so I have 5 times 50.
So
which
250.
Is 250 plus 50. 60, 70, plus 70,
so that's 320.
320.
Which is triple its current stock price of $80.
That's true. 1, 2, 3, baby, in front of CJ's. So 32 times 6 is 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 192. So it is 320 minus 192. Is that Darwin?
That is 128.
128. Okay.
So 128 goes into the company.
Yep. 67, 28 into the company. And 192. I'm just going to give myself. Take away 8.
Yep, that's fair. Give yourself the 200.
That felt good.
This is preposterous. I have no idea what's going to happen at the end of the game.
I'm not sure if... Can you sell your shares at the end of the game?
At the end of the game, you get the value that they're worth, right?
You get whatever they're worth. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, preferably you want to bump them up all the way.
As much as possible.
During this stock phase, we're allowed to sell as many shares as we want to the bank, right? But we just haven't had drive to because we've had enough money, like personally. That's the only benefit. If you sell shares that you own, you personally get money that doesn't affect the company.
We moved these? Yes? Or no?
I reckon so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wasn't at 220, was I? I was at 160, and I doubled it. So
okay.
I moved up 2. You were here, so you moved up, or you were here, so you moved up 2, right?
Yeah. Okay, sweet. So I make sure that all that is correct. These will move down.
So we're pulling out 5 cubes still to replace this, and once the bag is empty,
3, 4, 5.
Everything from Haymarket Square goes back into the bag except for 2 of each cube, as you saw at the beginning of the game.
Bag is exactly empty, but we're gonna have to draw more when we reach the cleanup phase.
Look at that cleanup phase.
So I'll go ahead and take this off. I assume this also goes in the bag. What I just took off.
Uh-huh.
Move those down.
So those are going to fill
real
up.
quick, before Haymarket Square ends, I'm supposed to get 1 cube. Can I have 1 brown cube from here?
Yeah.
4.
Because you're supposed to do that right away, so that's fine.
Yep. Okay, now we do 5.
And did DBH move up its prestige already?
It did not.
Oh, there you go. So you get a useless worker because you're already fully loaded up. There we go. Haymarket Square is back to a normal-sized coalition of cubes all rallying together. Is that the end of the cleanup phase? We need to get our workers back. This needs to drop off as well. So these slibbity slide down. You took care of that. Any of these that are full are going to go away. Oops. And then this one goes away. And now all of this is going to slide on down. I gotta say, with a 2-player game, this is like almost exactly. Yeah, almost exactly fine. So those will get dealt out. And so now this last action space is available to us.
Okay, let's move up here. Investing begins, and you...
Let's move to 1915.
Oh, sorry, 1915. Last round of the game.
Yeah, baby. Let's take our workers back.
Oh, the stress.
There's a lot of stress. Wendy's 5 workers. I have 5 workers. I have the choo-choo train of power. So good gravy. Let's see what happened. What's going to happen here? Okay. We've got a lot of money to invest. I don't know if the math is perfect on this or not, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start the Libby company. So I'm going to start Libby, McNeil, and Libby. What a stupid company name. I'm going to start the Ally McBeal company over here at, what did I say it was? So the minimum that you can do is $35 a share. So I'm going to spend $105 to start up this company in the last round of the game, which I think is a bit of a risk, but it might work out. So 105 goes over here to Ally McBeal, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this little thingy here, dingy, that says Libby. Libby. Starts at 1 Prestigio, which is not a whole lot, but hey, I mean, it's a something. The most that I can do would be to double the value of this, or to move up 2 spaces on the stock track if I earn $70 this round, which is a complete maybe. A complete maybe. I will sell. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey, that's cool. So anyway, so that'll go from 35 to 50. So that'll be a bit of investment. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to take the. I'm going to go ahead and take the Libby 30% share. So I will be the president of the Libby Corporation. And the rest of it will sit right there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On your Libby Corporation-ness.
It might be a partnership, even by the name of it, but, just for you corporate legal nerds out there watching this.
All right. Well, I am going to try to go for this one. So I'm actually going to invest 20% in Libby.
20% in Libby.
Yeah. Here you go, Libby.
That makes sense. It's only $70.
Give me your 20%er.
So yeah, you are now the you have the president, or you have not the president share, the preferred share.
Preferred.
Once again, not how preferred shares work in real life. They're not twice the value of a basic share, but I'm going to let that go because most of this game is incredibly thematic. So now I'm sitting here at 300-ish, 300 something dollars left. So do I want to invest in, what did I say, 300 something dollars? So I could get right back at you and buy the 20% preferred share of DBH maybe, but that might not be worth it. Okay. So Wendy is going to get this 20% preferred share Endgame $200. Maybe I could go and try and get this 10% share limited.
Which you're trying to get this one as well, right? So.
Yeah, I am trying to get the what is that called? Having the most capital assets. You'll notice that Libby has room for capital assets. How much money do you have left? You have
400 something.
You have so much money. Okay. But now it's time to count shares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7. I have 7. And right now, are we tied on 10% shares? 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 each, right?
Yep, because you have a 30 and I have a 20. Or an extra 30.
You have the extra 20. Okay. So if I spend the rest of my time buying 10% shares of a company, then you cannot surpass me on this one. And so that would be fine. That would probably be fine.
That doesn't make sense. If you buy 3 10% and I buy 3 10%.
Then we're tied.
Oh, then we're tied. That's what you mean.
That you cannot surpass me here.
Yes.
I will get this one by getting an extra capital asset, but I will prevent you from getting 2 of these, which I don't want you to have. However, you'll probably get this one, which is having the most money, because you just have more money than me. So, if I buy 3 more shares of Libby, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's only 5 shares left of Libby. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to pump in $35 into Libby to grab another 10% certificate.
Okay.
Oakley dokley is back to you.
Okay, let me do some math real quick.
Mathin' on the calculator.
Okay.
If I don't see you now, I'll calculate later.
I'm actually going to spend I'm going to go and spend 35 on Libby. Can Libby give me a $5 change?
$5 in change. No, $5 in change. Look at all this great money Libby got out of nowhere. Fantastic. So you're taking another 10% share?
Yep.
Fantastico. Let me see how much money do I have? 100, 200, 1, 2. I have $300 left. So the thing is that maybe I'll invest in Libby, and then maybe I'll invest in another company as well.
Swift will have the highest increase.
What did I say? Yeah. So I do have enough money that I could invest in Swift, huh? So I could do Swift, and then I would have 80, 90, or 50, 80 $80 left. So, yeah, I mean, Swift is probably the way to go so that I can buy a 10% in Swift and still tie you there. So that's, oh my gosh, $220 going straight into Swift.
Well, I'm going to do 280 into mine, so 280 into Brunswick.
I now own 60% of the Swift Corporation. I am the supermajority owner. Nobody can do squat about my company, not on my watch.
I now own 50 in Brunswick.
Very nice. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spend another $35, because that's kind of all I can afford. 35 over here to get the last 10% of Libby.
I'm also going to spend 35, but I'm going to make some change.
Yeah. Thanks for loading up my company with 200 and maybe $300 now.
Yeah, it's not your money. I own almost half of it, I'm going to own 40% of it.
You own 40%. I'll own 50%. So
here's 35 for Libby.
I'm curious how much this is worth. So the nice thing now is if I choose to tank this company, I'm taking you down with me, because what we haven't seen yet is if I choose as president of this company not to operate it.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. If I choose to not operate this company, then what is it? Then
you lose more than me.
I lose $10 more than you, yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's only a total of $10.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe I should just make it run efficiently, but whatever. We'll see. Boy, this is confusing. So, anyway, so we are eligible to sell shares if we want, but I'm going to pass. What about you?
I'm going to pass.
Okay, so that's the end of the investment phase. So let's move on to the building phase. So you're choosing that building? Wow, I have like two of practically the same building, but I got this one, which maybe would be good. This is partially really good for you. So
it's the blues, but I do have one extra blue, so I guess.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
I might
blues
go
and
there.
browns. Yeah, you might go there, which might give me money. Or we can make capital assets cheap.
This is like $500.
You have so much money. Yeah, you could take the dividend action 5 times and just pay yourself a lot.
Right?
Is that the most efficient thing to do? I'm gonna put this one out here.
It'd only be $50 each time I went. So.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know what's the best thing to do.
Flip them over, and I get to go first.
So 2 workers are going to get added to the market, the meerkat market. I'm going to imagine that these are meerkats from now on.
Big surprise. Brunswick's going to go up 3 spaces.
Hakuna Matata.
1, 2, 3, which moves it up 1, which I was super excited about.
You felded me! Ooh, hey, these...
You felded down the stairs.
Capital assets flip over, by the way.
Oh, yeah. What do I get? Oh, I get a brown and a black.
Yes, you do.
That's exciting.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do then is...
I'm sorry, I have to actually pay myself.
Yes, you got to pay for the action, which is really great, because right now we want to dump as much money as possible from these actions into our companies.
Truth.
So what I'm going to do is with this capital asset, I'm going to choose to fire it off right now, and I'm going to get 2 prestige. So that... yeah... It means that Brunswick can feld me, in the end, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. I'm going to play the brand recognition. I'm going to flip it over to move up 2 spaces. So I get not only an additional one of these markers, which means I'm producing a ton of piggage over here, but it also means I get to immediately move up my stock value 1 step. So that's $30 times 6 shares that I own in it. So now my actual action...
Oh, that wasn't your action.
That wasn't my action because... True. Yeah, that was just the capital asset. I'm going to go here. I have to pay myself $20, which I really wish, actually, now that I think about it, that maybe I'd put one of these out so I could pay myself $40. Silly me, but these cubes, whatever. So I'm going to pay $20 to myself in order to take this action to pay $50 to the bank. Yes, to the bank, please, in order to replace that capital asset and get this here fella, which means I'm going to be able to move up. I'm so glad you didn't take that. So glad you didn't take that. I was very nervous about that, because that is going to hopefully get me way closer to BBC. So, okay.
Good. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pay you $30.
I'll take it.
You will take it.
You missed my red stack.
Sorry. Will you feld yourself, and I move up another space and get another good?
All right. Good job getting swifty with it.
Good spot.
Into one of these perma-good tokens.
Perma-good.
Producing
6 at $90.
Perma-good.
Hoping this will be amazing.
A perma-good.
All right, your turn.
All right. Sorry, I'm singing to myself. I got 4 actions left. This dividend action is good, but is it great? Is the question. Oh, Nelly. Going down, down, baby. Ocean on the rainbow, boom, boom, baby. Never gonna let it go. I forgot to put these automation tokens out here, which I don't know if it'll actually matter because I probably won't automate that factory. I don't even know if I'm going to spend actions to run that factory or not. Is kind of the big question that I have. But maybe I should, because that is 3 goods at $20 a piece. It would edge me out if I can get this to pay out at least $70 to earn a total of 70. Should I get a marketer or not? I mean, I do want a marketer in general for... Oh, yeah, but the Swift company is the one that I think getting the most marketers is going to give me a lot of points at the end of the game. So, perfect. That is what I'm going to choose to do. Swift company is going to pay $70. So, here's 70 to the bank to get 1 more marketer, and that almost pays off for itself because I'm selling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goods.
That may or may not have been what I wanted to do.
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely...
Or may not.
Yeah, that definitely gives me the lead. So, whew.
Yeah, that does. And so then it's not worth it really to go here and pay you $30 to earn 10 extra bucks or whatever.
To go where?
To go here to move that up.
Oh, I see.
2, 3, 4, 5. It's $5, but those $5 aren't to me, or 50 or whatever. Yeah. So I'm not going to do that then. I'm going to go ahead and go here. We're going to pay 90 to me because that's a beautiful amount of money.
That is. I'm slightly jealous of that.
And we're going to fully operate at 100% efficiency. Let's get rid of those dudes.
I.e. laying off your hard-working workers.
Right.
I earned you all this money to begin with. So what do I got here? I got those. I got this. So I got 3 worker actions left. Okay. So oh man, yeah. I've got a lot of good options in what I can do here. I want Crackerjack to fire off. I want Swift Co to fire off. If I go here, I'm paying myself money. I'd rather pay myself than the bank to get the resources, which would give me the 2 blue cubes that I need. This space pays me $50, but I don't have a company that needs the prestige. Crackerjack doesn't really need to automate, but I might just have Crackerjack pay me my money anyway. Or I can take the dividend action over here because I own 6 shares of Swift, and so Swift would be paying $60 to myself. But in the meantime, since I have to pay money out of Swift anyway, is it worth it to do that instead of to be at the wiles of that? So I'm paying myself $10 shyer, and I'm not hurting for money in Swift. The money in the company's treasuries is worth nothing at the end of the game. So is that even a big deal? I don't think so. So I'll just do this action right. Oh, is there any other action that I really, really, really ought to be thinking about doing instead? If I got 2 marketers, I could earn an extra good and pay myself a ton of money. I'm going to do annoying calculations right in front of everyone because I'm going to get 5 goods and I'm selling them for $70 a piece. So I'm making $350. Ouch, that's not even going to double this, I don't think. $350? Right, am I doing this right? 2, 3, 4, 5? So the most I can move up is probably 2 steps, even with this bonus right here. How much would I have to pay? I would have to get $500? There's no way I can earn that much more money. If I made it 6, so plus another $70 would make it $420 plus the... Yeah, so I'm not going to get it. I'm just going to go here right now to the dividend space. So what happens is, with the dividends, you pay out $100 straight up, right? Pay $100. It goes to the bank, and now, or basically, right, 6 shares goes to, 10, what am I trying to say? 100 divided by the 10 like 10% per share. 60 is going to go to me. 40 just kind of gets lost and goes to the bank.
Oh, it doesn't stay in the company? Because the company owns those shares. When they pay a normal dividend, it goes to the company.
Yeah. No, you're right. It only pays to the bank if I've sold shares to the bank. So yeah, no, I misspoke. So that would just be straight up $60 to myself and no other implications to the company. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's. Is that the best that I can do? Just $60 straight up to me. All right, so that's that. It's a very long-winded action of complete unsurety. So now it's back to you. We have 2 workers each left.
2 workers each. Well, I'm going to go ahead and come here. I own 50%, so I'm just going to get $50 from that.
Are you worried about your money amount in Doggett? Because you own... Okay, yeah, because you own 60, so that would get you $10 more.
It would, but yeah, I only have 170. I'm not willing to give up 60 of it just in case I can't run the whole factory. Also, I'm going to do this. I haven't done it yet.
Okay, go ahead and grab the...
Brown and black.
Yeah.
There we go.
Very, very, very good. With the 2 workers that I have left. Let's see. So Swift is going to go second because BBC felded it right here. So BBC's in the lead and Swift is right behind it. Am I actually worried about not being able to afford 2 blue cubes? I don't think that's possible for me to screw it up. So if I go here, I get $60, whereas if I go here, I'm only giving myself $40. I don't think it's possible for me to screw that up, but it is the best return, so I would get $60. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a reason to take basically any other action, because unlike Wendy, my buildings are not worth more than $60. So, could I get change, please?
Mm-hmm. How much?
Sorry, you know what? Let me take that back. Let's break 100.
What are you paying?
Could I just get a bunch of 10s and give me $50 and 50 in the 10s and 50 in 25s.
Oh, meaning I'm just breaking the money for you.
Yeah,
this makes more sense.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just paying straight up to myself.
Got it.
So here's $60 once again to myself.
All right. And I'm going to come here again as well and also pay another $50 to myself.
From Brunswick, because it has bonkers amounts of money.
It is ridiculous. It's got like $500 still.
Yeah, there's part of that feels like, I should have put more money into myself, but you gotta go and take these, you gotta go take those actions and whatnot.
The thing is I could move this up with that money, but you took the spot, so there's no other way to do that.
And that building got discarded somewhere along the way.
I still have it in I never put it out.
I see. All right. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and build a capital asset because I do need that. So Libby is going to pay for the money, and who cares? Libby will just go ahead and pay whatever. I'm going to pay $40. $40 to buy this. It's going to get a one-time bonus of an employee who is not going to be able to fire that off. I mean, maybe I could have bought him another employee, but whatever. And guess what? This asset tile is worth $40. So I'm going to flip it over, and $40 goes right back into Libby. So it essentially did nothing.
Yay! It got you $200 for the end of the game. So
this is true.
It did something.
True. Yeah. So, oh man, but you are going to earn this final scoring tile because you just have more money than I do.
Yep.
So I think that means you take 3 of those and I only take 2.
I think so.
No,
we're tied.
We tied. Oh, thank goodness. So that means
I get 2, you get 2?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is.
So anyway, Hey, we did the building phase, we did the worker placement phase. Let's do the operating phase.
Okay.
Before we get too carried away with ourselves.
Okay, Brunswick goes first.
Yeah, Brunswick took the lead.
The mad dash to the end. It's a good thing Brunswick has stupid amounts of cash. It doesn't matter what's in here, so I'm highly tempted to just
buy up all the browns.
Yeah, except that it's only going to benefit you because you need blues. So I need 4 browns. 1, 2, 3, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's only $100. Easy.
Only $100.
Easy.
So anyway, that all fires off. I realize we've been like displaying them out when we buy them. We don't need to.
Yeah, we don't need to.
At this point in the video, people have seen us do it enough. I mean, we do stuff like that on video so that people can see why the factories are firing off and such. Because that's no fun to like have to guess.
Okay, so I give six things happen.
Oh man,
$90.
9 times 6, that's going to be $540 sold. Plus, you're going to get the $50 bonus for filling that space up.
So 590, not quite 360 times 2, but it will move up one space. 590, I own 50% of that. So what is that?
Boy, that's, is that $295? Yeah, $295, man.
$295 to me, $295 to the company. Okay, I'm going to put 5 in on both and just give each one
grab 300 each. The pink chips are the 500s, so if that's easier.
1, 2, 3. Did I actually pay? I didn't actually pay the $100 that I spent on cubes.
Whatever.
What was it? 110? I think it was 110. Okay. Well, that was easy.
All right. Let's get Swifty it's time to get Swifty. So I produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, sweet. I produced 6 items.
We didn't clear this one off last time.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Don't all the filled ones clear off?
Yeah, as long as that was filled last round.
Yeah.
You're right. So that's supposed to move off.
Okay. I'm just going to put that over here.
Sorry, that will definitely affect Daggett. Right?
What?
That'll affect your Doggett, Bassett, and Hills company.
Yes, because I'm producing 6. So.
Okay. I'm producing 6 here for Swift in the piggy area. So the 3 are going to go over here. And so that I get that $50 bonus. The other 3 come here. Blah. So at this point, so $70 times the 6 is $420. And then I get the $50 bonus. Oh, wow. Did I miscalculate? No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did miscalculate it. Had I gotten this, I could have doubled the...
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
Oh, wow. I have proven my ineptitude at...
Then I would have competed for this one if you had done that instead. So.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't think about that. So, and I paid myself tons of money. Yeah.
Did you move up yet?
No. Nope. It's going to move up.
Move you up 1.
And after production, I'm going to flip this over so I do move up another space.
Woo!
I think you might have this. I mean, look at the price, the strength of Brunswick.
Yeah. But you have one more share of... You have a whole nother $320. Right? Because you have 60% and I only have 50%?
That's true.
So.
That's true. Okay, so I get paid $282. So let me see here. If I... Yeah, $282. If I do this, 282 plus 200, 20. Can you give me $502?
Yep.
Let's do that. That's easier to look at.
So fancy.
I'm sorry. The $282 to me. That was really dumb. The money in Swift doesn't matter, so sorry. Could you just give me $280 instead? Because I made change with Swift when I'm really supposed to be trying to make change with myself.
Oh, so what did you do with the 500?
It's just sitting here. It's
okay.
Yeah, that's supposed to go back to the bank.
Okay.
I don't know why I did that. That was foolishness in me. I'm not going to fix it over here because literally the money in the companies don't matter at the end of the game. So, oh, you know what, Swift? I got so ahead of myself. I have to buy 2 blue cubes. So that was 10 here, and then those 2 I'll turn in for a blue. So that becomes $60 I'm supposed to pay. So we'll just say that $280 they put in the bank covers the cubes. Or the $220 I put in the bank. So anyway.
That was already in the company? Sure.
Yeah. So, sorry about fudging that. I don't want to redo that. It's just me being lazy. So that does that. That moved up, and the dividend was paid and everything.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move these down, and 6 cubes come out.
6 cubes.
6 cubes
of
yeah. Power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 black and brown cubes come out. Wish I had that 5 rounds ago. I mean, they never were really hurting for money, except for that one round.
That's fair.
A huge struggle.
Yeah, at this point, the companies are really strong. So moving down the track here, a very far prestigio way down to the CJ Cracker Jack Company. What do I need? I need brown, blue, and black, which is actually exactly what's there. So, yeah, so that's not too bad. Well, you want stuff to move down, and I want stuff to not to move down, and the money here in the company really doesn't matter. So, I don't know.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm going to have enough money to pay for everything.
Yeah, so that's fine at this point. Yeah, so I need brown, black, and blue. So this all happens,
so
right?
50.
That's $50. Yeah, just 25, 35, 40. Get out of here, $50. So I spend that. I get these cubes. They align here with the Vacor trees and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and just put them back into the Haymarket Square. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, and we're kind of running out of space for all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we're actually running out of like the white goods markers.
Ones.
I think there's a few more left in the box. So anyway, 5 of these come out into the food area, which is far too bad that I could not produce one more because that would have given me the $50 bonus. But as is, that is 5 times 40, so that's $200. Ooh, wow, that would have moved me up 2 spaces instead of 1. That is a crying shame. So, what did I say, $200? So, 100 to me and 100 to the company, whatever the company's, whatever, I get 100 there. So, that's not a huge payout, but I do get to move this up 1 space. CJ Cracker Jacks is done. Let's go to DBH.
Okay, DBH is going to spend. Let's move this down real quick. I'm not going to pull out the new one since this is the last company to go.
Yeah, Libby is just gonna. I'm just gonna. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, so pink, blue, black, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah?
Something like that.
Okay.
I believe you. So you can produce 6. There's 5. We'll grab one from over there.
You want to throw them over there for me?
I mean, at this point, we don't even need, really need to put them out because that's full. So you're going to sell them for the money and get a $50 bonus, essentially.
Okay. So I own what? 30, 40, 50, 60% of that company.
Okay.
That's not going to move yet. Okay, so 60%, what is that? $350 because I sold 6 at $50, so it's $300 plus the $50 completion bonus.
So $210 to yourself, madam.
$210, which is the only thing that matters. So I'm not going to worry about the other 40% to the company. And I realized that they weren't the last company because Libby exists now. So let's move these down, and
But I mean, Libby's literally not firing off because it doesn't even have enough workers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case.
So I'm going to make change here. This is $500. Would you hand me one of those 500 chips, por favor?
Yes, I will.
Thank you, thank you. I think that basically officially means that you're the winner of the... Oh, no, that's right. We need to calculate all the company values and stuff.
No, I think that you're going to win because of company values.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's close in the total amount of money. So anyway, let's... Libby, I'm not doing squat with. Now, this is the first time in this game that we've seen a company that cannot pay a dividend.
This went up 2 spaces.
Oh, yeah, that might do it.
Right, 300, yeah, 320, yep.
Yeah, that might do it. So let's see. Now that Libby has not paid a dividend, this is the first time in the game in which you have to withhold, is what it's called, i.e. move down in value on the stock price. So Libby's now only worth $25 a share. So all that money that Wendy and I invested to try and best each other, or to make sure that the other person didn't best us there, just lost us $10 per share. So anyway, now what we're going to do is we are just going to cash out. So this is officially the end of the game, right? No real need to do the cleanup phase, because now we're just going to go ahead and count up our cash that we have in our personal bank. All the companies, doesn't matter anymore, but nothing in the company treasury, so to speak. But we're going to go ahead and add up the share values. So Libby, $25 per share. And how many shares do you own?
So I get $100. I own 4 shares.
Okay, you get 100. I get 125.
Yeah, sure. So I've got 100, and you've got 125.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's Libby. Libby's done.
Yep.
Let's go to CJ.
Cracker Jacker. I got 5 shares at $140. So that is $700 for me.
700. Y'all can see this.
Now, what's next? Bassett is 190. And you have, what, 6 shares?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's big. $1,140.
Woo!
I own nothing in Bassett.
Swift, you own 60% at 320. This is what's going to kill me. I think Swift is what's going to make the game.
That's only $1,920.
Only.
Only because you own 50%.
Sure, BBC is $2,000.
$2,000, yeah, straight up. So I think in the fact that Bassett is worth more than me, worth more than my CJ, my Cracker Jack, and you just have more money. You just have an extra $200 sitting here. Like that's rough. So let's go ahead and add to that whatever our dollar amount is here.
Sure. Sorry, let me do this math real quick for everyone. Okay, so yeah, I'm at 3,240. You're at 2,745.
Yeah, and there's no way that I have $400 more in money. In fact, you have more money than me.
Yeah. 580. That's 8. $837. $837. What was yours?
My total cash amount is $603 for my grand total being $3,348.
You want to do mine real quick?
Your grand total, so $3,240 plus.
4,077.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen worse, right? So yeah, that's our final scores right there. That is a very full game.
Whew.
That is quite the experience.
It is. It is. Did you enjoy it?
I definitely think that this is I like this economic system. I really like the fact that my personal bank is different than the company banks, and it's hard to like keep that in check, and it's hard to tell when is my company growing too cash heavy, when is it too dense with cash, because you never want to be caught with too little. Mm-hmm. And so what things could I have done different, to make my company worth as much as Brunswick?
Yeah, I don't know. I was worth so much more per item. I was able to move up when it got really expensive.
Sure.
So
what was the difference in total? It was like $600 difference or so?
Yeah.
Yeah, so about $600, right? I look at this endgame victory point tile over here, right? $200 for having the most cash is it. I mean, I know that you can either have a lot of value in money, in your personages, or in your companies and stuff. So it feels kind of funny to me, though, that like you get more points for having more points. Yeah, it's
for having liquid assets, basically.
Yes, for being more liquid instead of tied up investments. Yeah. So but it is still the aim of the game at the end to have a ton of money available. So it's funny that it's more points for having more points.
Yeah. And we didn't actually add in the 400 each, but we both earned the 400. So.
Oh, that's fair. No, we actually earned 600 each because this one is tied friendly.
Oh, so it is.
So yeah, so throw
an extra 600. It makes it seem even less distant.
Because what here, can you bring the score over?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so 4,677 versus
3,900. No, sorry, 3,000. 4,000.
Yeah, they're 3,948.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean it's the ratio, the percentage difference is a little bit smaller. But still, no, I mean, you just outperformed me. You did really well.
Sweet. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I really like the way that, just the way that it makes me think. I like the way it fits my brain.
Like the part of your brain that's just smarter than my part of the brain?
No, not that part. The part that did multiplication wrong.
Well, so you said it makes your brain think. Obviously, if anyone watched this, it's a thinker. But like, what are the fun aspects about thinking?
What is interesting is these companies, they are so very different. There's just more manufacturing than there is of anything else. Like half the companies are manufacturing, which is fascinating that nobody else invested in manufacturing. But the goods, sometimes you can make lots of goods for cheap. Sometimes you can make this was really hard to fire off, but it was so powerful.
Well, the fact that you did end up firing it off every round is the difference. Last game that we played, I had Brunswick, and in the third or fourth age or whatever, I just couldn't get it to fire. Therefore, I lost out on almost a whole round's worth of progress.
True.
So that is the difference, I think. This is an easy company to start, but it's hard to maintain.
Yeah, and I threw a lot of money into it every round. Like, I just feel like I just was throwing money at it. And so, it was good in the end.
Now, one of the interesting things about this game, too, is you want to own a lot of shares of your big powerhouse company, presuming you have, like, one main powerhouse one, because that gives you the most dividends paid to your person. But the problem is then the stock price moves up so high that you can't own... It's not easy to buy more shares of it, and therefore, I don't know, it's that weird thing of I would rather spend a lot... I would rather get a lot of shares while it's cheap, rather than when it moves up. But the other mistake that I made last game was I bought way too many shares in one company while it was cheap. Therefore, it could not get enough money put into it because it only had I think
you were at like 35 or 40 when you're throwing money into it.
Yeah. I bought a bunch of 35s. I bought a couple of 50s. I bought 180, right? One of these 80s here. And that's just not a lot of liquid cash to keep the company moving. And so my company ended up sinking over the course of the game. It just didn't have enough money to do the fun actions like get marketers, get managers, take some of these big expensive actions because it just couldn't afford it and afford cubes.
Yeah, so. I definitely see that. It's interesting that these prestige things make such a difference. This company was so hard to move up on prestige until I figured out this weird track thing.
You took advantage of that like a beast.
Because otherwise, I would have just been handing you money every round.
Oh, yeah, you would have handed me a few $100s, and that few $100 could have changed the course of the game.
Yeah, but instead, totally, I handed you 60 the entire game, which was not very much.
Did I hand you any money?
No.
I don't think I did. So I think that in a 4-player game, there might be more interaction hopping onto other players' buildings, just because there's going to be more interesting buildings to kind of hop onto. But I don't know. We've only played this as 2 players so far. Does it work really well for you as a 2-player game?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it would be a different dynamic to try it at 4 for sure. And it might hurt my head even more.
I think so, because it would just be longer.
It would be longer. It would be harder to calculate the difference. Because if I look at something, I'm like, oh, well, I get a little bit more benefit over Chris. It's directly affecting or hurting Chris every decision that I make. Whereas if it's affecting 3 people, am I helping this person too much or hurting this person too much? Or
you can look
it's a different balancing act.
You can look at the person who's having the least good time over on the stock track or personal money and be like, yeah, I'll hand you $50 for great action. I don't care. You're not winning.
Yeah.
So as Wendy mentioned, these are the extra companies. There's 3 more of these manufacturing goods. There's only 1 more boot, 1 more pig. There's only 2, there's only 2 here, whatever, and then like 4 of these. Mm-hmm. So it is interesting that this is like a heavier focused industry in the game. And it's also interesting that every company has just drastically different selling prices, 50 versus 20. But also they produce different amounts of stuff and have different amounts of automation tokens that need to get cleared off before they get more stuff. And it's just every company behaves differently, which really impresses me for having 8, 10 or so of them in here.
Oh, yeah.
So Yeah,
Definitely.
I do love that.
Now, if I were to complain about one thing, I think it's this cube market. I'm not in love with the cube market. I feel like there's not a good way to guarantee that you can fire off things every round, and the fact that you're already trying to balance what works over here that other people aren't competing in, how much money am I getting, how difficult it is to produce goods, but on top of that, it's completely random what comes out every round.
Yes.
And what is really good the first round when you're first investing in a company is not what's going to be there later.
Yes, precisely. When there's 5 or 6 companies, it starts getting a lot where if I'm really trying to operate Libby, I obviously wasn't this game, I was fine tanking it. But if I was, I'm looking at this market and I say, I don't even know what's going to happen. This forecast space is going to get gobbled up by the time Libby comes around, so I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. I tend to not, this is fine, trade in any 2 of the same cube for any other one. That's okay. Same thing as in Wingspan. One of my biggest complaints about Wingspan's engine building is it has a similar random market and a potential to trade 2 for 1, but it doesn't compensate for, especially early in the game, if your company doesn't have a lot of money, it doesn't compensate if Wendy's company can just buy these cubes for cheap, but I have to buy this one, and I have to try and get, there's not 2 of a kind, so I gotta buy 2 here. So I'm spending $80 compared to Wendy's 30 or something. It doesn't quite feel compensatory if you're on the short end of the stick, especially early in the game.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So yeah, the cube market's not my favorite, but it was nice that there are other ways to get around it. But I also was the only company doing that. In future games, now that we figured it out, we might do that more, and so it won't be as beneficial.
We will see. Yeah, I was surprised how many capital assets you bought, used it once, burned it.
I think I went through 5 or 6.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this or not, but capital assets in terms of finance and stuff means you buy it, you hold on to it for its usable life, 30-something years or whatever.
Yeah.
Not, hey, let's buy 2 of them and get rid of them within the same decade.
Yeah.
That's not like a capital asset. So, yeah. As an accountant, as a professional accountant, I do find so much of this interesting, the economy, balancing out between how much in your company, how much in your personal fund, and all that stuff. That part's great.
Supply and demand.
But you don't have to be an accountant or a financier or an economist to enjoy this game. Yeah. You are a little bit more savvy.
I got a minor in business in college, but
yeah.
It's not my day-to-day professional skills that I'm using, but
this is still a game, not a spreadsheet.
True.
I think that's kind of the difference. The demand tiles are fun. Having new buildings come out every round is fun. That's one of my favorite parts of Lords of Waterdeep as a more introductory weight worker placement game is, hey, new buildings come out. The dynamic will change and stuff. I think the other thing too, though, is if we continue to play this, as we play this 6, 7, 8 times, these buildings might start to look more similar than dissimilar. There is a good amount of variety in the buildings that we've discarded and thrown away and stuff, right?
Sure.
But these are capital assets, I'm sorry. So there's going to be some variety in these that we tossed away, just so kind of people can kind of see what didn't
cube
actually
ones.
End up getting built.
I'm not in love with the cube ones. I think they're kind of pointless.
Whereas this one right here is super swingy. Whoever can produce 3 more. I threw this away because if Brunswick was able to sell 3 more items at $80, $90, $100 a piece, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So
I would definitely have taken first player at some point.
Oh yeah. So this one I threw away instantly. So so that's one of my worries is now that we've played it a few times already, I think more similar buildings come out at 2 player than dissimilar.
Sure.
These are awesome. These prestige ones are stupidly amazing, so obviously that's going to come out. And then if I have one other criticism, I think it's just the length. This is not going to be a game for everybody. It's not a game that I can even pull out frequently. This is a capital asset. Because of the length. The length is prohibitive, but it's deep. It is going to take a little bit longer if you have a lot of companies firing off in this 4th phase. So that takes a while, even if you place out the workers quick, even if you don't AP, analysis paralysis, get stuck in decisions there, These just take time to fire off.
Yeah, you can't do them all at once.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Just kind of any final thoughts or final ideas?
I mean, my final thoughts are I really enjoy it. This is definitely like our first close to 18xx game that we've played, and I'm not turned off by it.
And I'm not turned off either. I do, how do I say? The first game that I played, I was afraid that for the length of time, I felt like round after round it was kind of the same thing. And so ultimately, I might really prefer this game if it were just a 4-round system. You know, I don't know if this 5th round adds that much to the game per se, like if it adds that much different compared to what the first 4 rounds have offered.
Okay.
First round is completely different. It's just startup mode, right?
Yeah.
Round 2, you're just kind of getting the companies going. 3 and 4, I think that you can get a third company, you can maybe kind of build it up if you want to, or you can invest heavy into the first few companies you have. I imagine more plays is going to make you play differently, so to be determined if this 5th round is going to convince me or not.
Sure.
I agree with you. The economy doesn't turn me off. The 18xx style thinking of how the money works doesn't turn me off. I think the time does. And so I would happily more likely play a 4-round variant of this or something.
See, and I would prefer honestly taking out the first round because that's my least favorite. I feel like you're just limping along, just like doing the 2 actions that you possibly can do to get your company to fire off one time.
And this is why we like the Terraforming Mars Prelude expansion, because that basically says, hey, skip a round, but skip the least productive round, start here.
Get where it's fun. Because, yeah, I definitely found 2 through 4 to be more fun.
Okay. And 5? You mean 2 through 5 was more fun?
Sorry, 2 through 5, yeah.
Okay. I wonder, right? Maybe we'll reach out to Parallel Games and say, hey, is there a variant or something for that? Can you start in the second age and just say everyone starts the game with $300 instead of $175? That way you can invest in 2 companies maybe. Maybe you start the game with 3 workers, or if you start the game in the second round, you're sooner going to unlock your next worker, kind of a thing. I think that's what I would prefer. That's what kind of my final thoughts is. So
Slightly
fun,
shorter.
so different, so unique in everything the game offers. And I'm sure that it has a huge crowd. It'll have a lot of people who like it. For me personally, 1 round shorter, and I'd be so much happier.
Well, we're Meeple Overboard. Thanks for watching.